You're listening to M.T.V.B. Podcast. Movies, TV, video and board games. This show may contain swearing.
Hello, welcome to a brand new episode of the M.T.V.B. podcast, a podcast that talks about my four favourite subjects, that's movies, TV shows, video games and board games. I'm your host Anthony, as well as most people know me as the Ant-Man, and welcome. This week's episode, we did the top 5 video games we would turn into movies. We're going to do the opposite and do the TV shows, or video games we would turn into TV shows. I'm joined around the table by the guys that love to talk about video games and TV shows at the same time. Introduce yourselves around the table, please.
Hi guys, it's me, JK47.
In the building, and welcome back to our friend who had a horrific accident, Dave. Hello, sir.
Where am I? He's just dragged me off the street. I'm not the real Dave.
He's in a better place. That's what we've been saying for the last few weeks anyway. But welcome back, sir. It's so good to see you and have you back behind the mic. You're obviously well enough to do this. Welcome back, sir.
It's good to be back.
I bet. Back on that mic and on a good episode to do as well. Yes. So, have we got our list ready for this one?
Yeah.
This was a toughie one for me. I haven't done the actors on this one. We did the actors for the movie one. So I haven't done the actors for the TV one.
I didn't do the actors either.
No. But at least we got our 5s. Your 5s good, solid?
They're not necessarily games I finished playing, but they're games I enjoy playing.
But the games you would like to be as a TV show.
Exactly.
That's the main thing. That's the whole point of the top 5, isn't it? So like normal, we'll go into the questions, of course, into the top 5. So obviously with the last year's announcements of The Last of Us, as well as the Fallout TV show, both games being turned into TV shows, are you guys actually going to be looking forward to watching those at all, or?
Definitely, yes. Fallout especially.
Wait till the reviews are out and then maybe give it a go, or?
No, I'm stoked for the Fallout series anyway, so...
Yeah, Fallout should be good.
I reckon it'll be good.
But it's done by Amazon. A lot of people don't like Amazon.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but they just like to complain, don't they? So,
But The Last of Us, a bit more worried about, because I really like that game.
I was going to say, you're a big fan of it, aren't you?
I'm a big fan of the first one, yeah. So if they...
I like how he said the first one, not part 2. Well done, sir.
But if they trash that...
Fuck you, gals.
If they, they're going to want to do their own thing, aren't they? So they're going to change it a little bit. When I think it works quite well as a movie, as a TV series. You know, it doesn't need much extra, but I reckon they're going to try and shoe on.
But this is what I was saying.
Have to flesh it out, won't they?
That's a good point, because obviously it's a pretty much linear story. It's A to B. That's the story. Whereas with Fallout, it's got so much more variety to it. You know, all the different vaults and different parts of the country, factions and everything. There's so much more it's going to go into. Hopefully, it will last longer than.
Also, not sure if I like the girl who's playing Eddie.
Okay, right.
I don't know.
Well,
I'll give her a chance, but I don't know. From the game, I don't see her being as sort of cheeky. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I was in 2 minds about Pedro Pascal, and honestly, because you know,
he does look the part.
He looks the part, but it's I don't know. It's because. What's his name?
Has he played the game?
What's the guy in it? Joel. It's Joel, isn't it?
Joel.
He's from like Texas,
he's
sort
Texas
of thing.
boy.
And then you've got a Mexican playing a Texan. So I'll be interested. I mean, nothing against the Mexicans or anything, but
I'm going to give it a chance. But
100%.
It's got a high mark to hit, hasn't it?
I mean, the thing is that I'm worried the clickers are barely going to be in it as much.
Yeah.
That's my main worry. I know, like, a lot of it's to do with human factions, like you said, and, you know, survival and stuff, but I don't want them to be like...
You don't want to turn it into like a Walking Dead sort of thing.
Yeah, where they're just put aside and then we're going to focus on the humans a bit more sort of thing.
There were some good clicker moments in it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
They're bound to be.
Do you reckon they're going to go and do the opening just like it was in the game? Because that's pretty hard, isn't it?
That would be pretty cool, to be honest.
It would, and if they don't do it, they've copped out, haven't they?
Well, that's going to be the open. That's going to be
the
like...
thing. See, the fans are
you either fucked up or you didn't, really, isn't it?
The fans will be waiting for them to do it. So, like you say, so if they don't do it, it's an early indicator that maybe the series isn't going to be as good then, and it could turn people off. So, but if they do it, it might interest the fans and keep them watching. So, yeah.
I mean, I think between the two games, I'm more of a Fallout person.
Yeah, same here.
But I'm super intrigued about where that's going to go and like who are they going to focus on for that, and you know, explain all the different creatures and everything.
I've not played, obviously. I've not played Last of Us, but it is coming out to PC soon.
No, I just hope.
And he just kickstarted the board game as well. He's never played the video game.
Yeah.
I just hope that when they're in the Fallout TV show, that when they do it, when it's like you run up to someone and there's a conversation starts, the camera just pans perfectly in onto their face, and then halfway through they just turn away.
like a glitch or something.
Yeah.
Oh, dude! As soon as I see a power armor on that big screen, my dick's gonna get so hard.
Yeah.
But no, I'm looking forward to both of them. Obviously, Last of Us is out first, isn't it? So
it'll be interesting to see how they do Fallout, though, because bearing in mind Fallout 76 comes before the other 4 games. So are they going to start off with Fallout 76 and work their way up, or are they going to
I'm intrigued who's going to be behind the camera doing this, because apparently the guys that did Chernobyl have done The Last of Us.
What?
That's pretty much
that's going to be good.
It's going to be pretty epic if those guys are doing it.
Chernobyl was good.
So good. Yeah. Such a good show.
So they both sound like they could be done very well then.
Yeah.
I just hope the graphics are up for the clickers.
Yeah.
In Last of Us. I hope they're done well and they're not obviously
absolutely
CG'd in or something crap.
That's the thing, isn't it? But we'll see. You know, we'll find out. Was it March, February for that?
Who knows? Yeah.
It's early next year, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's early next year.
So we're kind of touching up on that subject with the second question. So obviously Netflix didn't do a very good job with the recent Resident Evil series. It's already been cancelled as well.
Oops.
Are you worried that this may happen again with future projects?
Either that or they change the main actor playing the character. Witcher.
Which have just done that with Henry Cavill, haven't they? So
I'm less worried with the Amazon side of it, because they've got more money, I think, than Netflix have.
Yeah, Netflix seems to cancel more, don't
they?
See,
Netflix seems to do justice with it if it's animated, like Arcane and Cyberpunk, apparently really good.
Yes.
Have you watched the Cyberpunk?
No, Big G's going on about it. So.
Yeah, I liked that. I watched that recently,
Yeah, was it good?
I played it again, actually.
Oh, the game?
Yeah.
But because of the series?
On PS5, because of the series.
Nice.
And because I played it first on PS4,
it's got so many updates
it. Yeah.
Now.
You couldn't drive down a street without it crashing.
It's obviously a lot better now, is it?
Well, better, yeah.
Better.
Well, it's still not perfect.
I've got lots of faults that I could spend a whole episode talking about, but I like the world, though, of that. And that's like me, Cyberpunk.
Yep. Yeah, that's right up your street.
So, like I said, I would have
very synthy and all that, isn't it?
I would have put that in.
Very Blade Runner.
But yeah, it's already taken.
It's got like an anime.
Yeah. So. What about you, John? Are you worried that Netflix might? Because I think they've just announced Gears of War, and they're doing the BioShock film, which is a bit annoying because we said in the last episode with the video games we turn to films, you can't do ones that we announced, and we both said Gears of War.
Yeah.
And now Netflix has just announced it, so it was a bit of a nuisance.
Yeah,
but I'm worried. I'm loving the fact that it's coming to the big screen, or small screen, shall I say, in this instance. But Netflix are behind it, so my worry is for Gears, personally.
This is the thing, you know.
Yeah, they do cancel so much stuff, and then always you hear there's a fan backlash.
Yeah,
we were talking about it with Evil Dead, weren't we?
Yes, TV that's series. Right. But the Ash vs Evil Dead, wasn't it? Yeah.
Sorry, Ash vs Evil Dead. Yeah.
Well, they need to get people on board who have played the game and enjoy the game, and some, but they don't. And this is this is the problem with The Witcher. They've got people on who've never played the game and don't really understand it.
No, I think the problem with Netflix is they're like some corporate suits who are sitting there, and they're going, like, we want to see this amount of people tuning in to watch it or whatever.
Oh, so the same thing as in Cyberpunk then. Yeah, that's what killed Cyberpunk the first time.
They just cut it out. Yeah. Because there's always fan base. Like we were talking, there was a big backlash, wasn't there, about them cancelling Ash versus Evil Dead. And, probably with Resident Evil, I'm not too sure on that one, but there'll be a lot of fans who enjoyed it.
Yeah, because I think Bruce Campbell recently had an interview with someone and said that, when it was released back onto Netflix, it found its audience again. So it could have carried on, but they just decided, no, we're going to leave it like that, which is a shame.
And it's not like, this is what I don't understand with Netflix, like, just put less money into it. Because it's not like you've got like a slot that it's taken up on prime time, say. Like in the old-fashioned TV, it was very cutthroat because if you had like a prime slot and you weren't pulling in the numbers of people sitting down and watching it before you had Sky or, recording live TV.
You're right, because Game of Thrones did that. The Game of Thrones didn't get bigger until the series went along, wasn't it? But if you look back at season 1...
On a streaming service... Like you're not hogging like the Saturday night, the Friday night slot, are you?
So yes, true.
You might as well keep it. Just put less money into it. See what it does, rather than cut it.
Yeah,
and then you've got loads of fans.
Worry. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. What about you, John? Are you worried about it at all? I mean, not just Netflix. I mean, obviously Amazon's doing it now as well. But
I mean, I was hyped for the Rings of Power, and it didn't quite rise to the mark for me. It's not
How
bad.
How dare you, sir?
I expected more of it, if you know what I mean.
I think it's building up.
Yeah, I'm hoping it is. I'm hoping it is.
A lot of negative... Seemed to be a lot of negative, though, backlash about that.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And I quite liked it.
Yeah, same as. I've only just recently watched it, and I was like, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. What did you think again, John?
I like it.
No, it's not the same if this doesn't do it, John.
I like it.
There we go, that's better.
We will make you like it.
Is it because you thought it was
bloody gory?
I am enjoying it, but I think there was so much hype for it that you kind of get swept up in the hype, and then when the program actually comes out, I'm enjoying it, but maybe it's an 8 out of 10 instead of a 9. I'd been led to believe, so it's
I suppose it depends on whether you want like big action fights, because it wasn't heavy on that.
I'm not too bothered.
It was building the story, wasn't it? And I mean that's what these video games are probably going to do for the first season: is build it up and then go from there, decide and whatnot.
Yeah, but don't do a Netflix and just cancel it.
Well, don't do a Netflix and then create a show and then slap a video game name on it like they did Resident Evil, because there was nothing like the game at all.
No.
This is what I'm saying. People trying to do their own thing might happen with Last of Us.
Yeah, it's just true.
We want to tell
but
my
it's
story.
HBO though. I have faith in HBO. HBO do good shows.
They normally do, yeah. So
we shall see.
We shall.
So I'll come next question. Right. So next question. A majority of new video games are live action, but there is also a majority of animated video game shows. Do you like these animated shows, or do you prefer a live action version if they made your top 5?
I don't really watch them, to be honest.
I suppose it depends on your personal preference, doesn't it?
Well, like you said with Cyberpunk,
so I'm not a massive anime fan. Never really watched it. So I would say live action, but then I watched the anime Cyberpunk and really enjoyed it. So
yeah. So on that basis, would you watch more of the anime stuff if it was based on your video game that you liked? Or
because stylistically it's its own thing, isn't it? So you can do different things that you can't do in live action.
Yeah.
Shots, action shots and the sort of more fighty anime style stuff.
Yeah.
So
you're kind of saving the budget a bit more if you do an anime action, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. And, even not anime, even animated stuff is really good these days.
I mean, I enjoyed the Castlevania series.
I was about to... Castlevania, the animated series, is fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
If it was like... If a lot of these shows
something
were like
Netflix did right,
then I would actually watch more of them, I suppose. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, there's an argument to say, okay, less budget, less time, less effort, but you can still bring a new audience to something that's really good. So if you've got a good game that people might not have played, but they might be into watching anime or whatever, you can bring a new audience into it with that. So I'm for it.
So technically you can do both, because again, go back to Netflix's announcement with Gears, they're doing a film as the main thing, but they are doing an animated TV series as well, which I kind of like that you got the choice of both in a way.
That's what Star Wars is doing a lot of, isn't
exactly,
it? Lots of TV series and then some animated stuff alongside. Clone Wars, things like that.
Exactly, yeah. Or just Tales of Jedi, whatever it is now, yeah.
Oh, they've got so much stuff there.
It's so fucking much. I can't even keep up with it all.
But then you can pick and choose what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, nothing saying you have to watch it. Just saying which one do you prefer, isn't it? Really. Yeah. So apart from that, we got to the very last question because we kind of delved into the questions for that previous episode. Given what we were talking about, how all these companies are making announcements, and every day there's going to be another one. Do you see a bright future for video games being turned into TV shows?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because
there's so many.
I think video game always had the problem of being video games are just for kids.
Yeah.
And they're not. It's like throwaway. Whereas nowadays we're seeing a breakthrough in sort of the storytelling side of things and adult. So
Halo, for example.
Yeah, Last of Us, things like that. The Witcher. If you look at some of the like side quests in there, they're pretty adult themed.
Absolutely,
and well told. So I think now that we're crossing that hurdle with it's just a game, it's just for kids. It's
video game fucking losers.
Yeah, video game.
Yeah,
losers.
but then the video game industry is either I think is worth more than the movie industry. So it may.
Oh yes, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're right on that one.
There's
yes,
absolute billions being spent and made in video games. It would be silly not to.
But I think that there are more serious people wanting to put more serious effort and time into TV adaptations than the old cash grabs you used to see.
Could you imagine if they put microtransactions into the TV show? Like, pay this much to see this ending. Pay this much to see that ending.
Shh. Don't give them ideas, man.
Saying,
Don't give them ideas.
You heard it first on M.T.V.B.
No, don't sell out.
Trademark.
Episode 2 could go either way.
Exactly.
Pay this and you'll see this one.
You either pay this subscription or this subscription.
No.
Have you seen they're doing subscriptions for cars now?
For cars?
Yeah. I can't remember whether it was Mercedes or BMW, but you had to pay a monthly subscription to get like the heated seats.
Oh my God.
Things like that. Stupid, innit? Don't give them ideas, man.
Don't buy a Mercedes then.
Subscriptions are the future.
I don't know if it is Mercedes.
Yeah, I know.
So, but it is a car like that. But
That's like saying, here, you can have this car, but you have to pay extra for a steering wheel. Fuck's sake. But it is, isn't it?
Pay extra for a steering wheel.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you go and buy a car and you spec it. So I
love it. You go sit in the car and there's no fucking wheel. That's brilliant.
It's almost as bad as that, isn't it? Oh, if you want a heated seat, you've got to pay extra. Well, you've always had to pay extra for stuff like that. So I don't get this monthly subscription bollocks.
It's because they can keep getting money out of you.
I suppose, yeah. But I don't know.
But imagine that in TV. They're like, right, well, here's the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
But if you want to see the rest, we need to hit a certain benchmark.
This is it,
Kickstarter
exactly.
style.
Yeah.
That could happen.
But they kind of do that already in some instances, don't they? They'll give you the free episode, and then you have to watch the rest on Prime or something like that.
Pay to watch the next one.
Yeah.
I
Hope
guess
they don't then. But
I'm out of questions for that. Has anyone else got anything in? If not, we'll go straight to the top 5s. No?
Yeah, I'll go to the top 5.
Let's do it then.
It's time for a top 5.
So just a reminder, on that episode we did with the video games we turn into movies, we named the actors. On my top 5, there's no way I can do that on my list because there's so many different things in different ways. There'll be a shit ton of actors in so less time we got to do this list. So we'll go to straight just naming the game, why and you like it, and why it should be a TV series, yeah? Number 5.
Number 5.
Anyone like to go first?
Oh, hello.
I'll give it to Dave for his return.
give it to box standard.
Are we going to go to you last or me last?
We'll
go.
I'll be last.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
We're going clockwise. Let's do this.
Okay.
Let's do
Right, so
this.
Number 5.
Number 5. Game I would turn into a TV series. Metal Gear Solid.
Oh,
G.
good thing G's not here.
So
he should have come down.
I'm a bit torn because the first one on PS1.
Yeah.
I'd probably do that
Oh, okay, right. As a TV series.
as a TV series. Yeah, but a lot of mine they're like stories that I would split up episodically. Because then if it was really good, you could then do a second series and move on to
the next game could be the next season or something like that. Yeah,
but then I was thinking Snake Eater. Metal Gear Solid 3.
There's 3, isn't it? Yeah.
Because that would be cool. But, you could have an episode feature... Because they've got, like, the bosses, haven't they?
Sure.
So, in, like...
The end cliffhanger when they get to the boss.
Yeah. You could sort of do it episodically, I think. It would work quite good. And it's just one of the best sort of espionage
I never even thought of it as a TV show. That's pretty good, to be honest.
And you've got, like, you've got some really punchy moments that I remember from playing that in, like, school.
Yeah, it's here, right.
With Sniper Wolf and things like that, and Psycho Mantis. I don't know how you translate that, because that blew my mind as a kid.
Yeah,
and it was like, I know what games you've been playing.
Yeah, right.
And then you're like, I can't beat it.
You read your memory card.
Yeah, and then you had to change. You had to plug your controller into.
Could you imagine if you did that in the series? It'd be like, I know you've been watching this. You've been watching Stranger Things.
I know you've been watching like Queer Eye or something.
My fucking blown.
My Little Pony. Just pretend it's one of your kids.
It'd be such a mindfuck. It'd be crazy.
I just think, because it's a bit out there, it's Hideo Kojima's weirdness, isn't it?
And there's too much to put into a film, really, isn't it? One whole film.
Yes. And that's why I think and again, I don't think TV series have to be just wrapped up episodically, different stories. I quite like the arcs.
Yeah.
As I've said before on other M.T.V.Bs. Mm-hmm. So things like that, and you'll see on some of the other ones I've done, you could split up into episodes and have one overarching story.
Yeah.
You sort of follow them along.
Yeah.
And I just think, you could amp up the sort of thriller nature of it, the stealth, sort of action-y aspect of it, things like that. And
it doesn't have to be, because the game isn't always full action either, is it, all the time?
No. But you've got, all these memorable characters and things, Otacon and stuff like that. You can
what was the ninja called? Was it Grey Fox?
Grey Fox,
He was Grey Fox, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, YSMG here.
Yeah.
Well, because he stole it, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah.
So yeah, I just think, and
it's Gay Fox, by the way.
I know that one episode.
Bad bum fox.
Hi, G. If you're listening,
that's it. He ain't listening because he's not on this episode.
Of course he's not.
He looks on his Spotify. He doesn't listen to any episode that he's not on.
That is narcissistic, isn't it?
Isn't it? It likes the sound of his own voice, weirdo.
So yeah, I would say Metal Gear Solid.
It's a damn good pick, sir.
But you can, like I say, you could do other ones, right up until,
Yeah, it would.
They get a bit bizarre, but
still, as a if you do each game as a series, you've got 5 seasons there, 5-6 seasons maybe.
Yeah,
it'd be worth it. You enjoy. Yeah.
And
obviously Snake Eater goes back into. It's a prequel, isn't it?
That's Big Boss.
Yeah,
yeah. So,
it's like in the 60s or something, isn't it?
Yeah. So you can, maybe go and do like the prequel, explain like Revolver Ocelot and things like that.
That's true. And then obviously you got the recent one was in the 80s, wasn't it? Phantom Pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phantom Pain on Metal Gear Solid 5, wasn't it?
That's it. And Kiefer Sutherland was Metal Gear.
I didn't like him. I didn't like him as opposed to David Hayter.
David Hayter, yeah.
Because grown up with him.
Yeah, of course.
He's the voice. And this is what I'm, this is back to The Witcher again, but Henry Cavill did a very good Geralt voice from the games, if you like the games, didn't he?
Yes, definitely, yeah.
So if you were to do a Metal Gear Solid, don't mind who's cast as,
Would you have anyone in mind? If you can top your head?
Not off the top of my head.
No?
I'd have to sit and think, but they'd have to do a good David Hayter Snake voice.
So it's all in the voice, not the actual appearance to look like the character.
You can dress people up to fit quite easily, can't you? So as they're trying to prove with old what's his face, Liam Hemsworth. Or whatever,
Liam Hemsworth, yeah.
So
because the other one's got Alzheimer's at the moment.
Has he?
Yeah, he's just found out he's taken a break from acting because he's got Alzheimer's.
Blimey.
Who's that?
Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah. But no, anything
That's
else
young.
on that, sir?
No, nothing else
Nice.
for me on that one.
It was a good damn good pick. I can't think of it. I've always pictured that game as a movie, but as a TV series, I think that's quite genius, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be a lot of ones like that on my list.
G's going to be kicking himself. Oh, you took my fucking number one.
Well, he's not here, so it doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah, bollocks,
exactly.
you, G.
Yeah.
You should have shown up.
Hi, G.
Right, my number 5. My number 5, I'm going to go back to that question I said earlier on whether it would be anime or live action. As much as I'd like to see this video game as live action TV series, I think it would be better as a anime series. I picked Dark Souls as my number 5.
That actually would work quite well.
Yeah, the Castlevania series on Netflix I think is a big inspiration for this pick, because if anyone's played Dark Souls, of course, it's all as you play the characters, everything's in mystery. You don't know why these bosses are here. You don't know why these characters are here, like Solaire and whatnot. I think in this anime series, I wouldn't want it to be the game per se. I would like it to be the lore of Dark Souls, and then people can have that explanation there if they wanted to. I know sometimes it's better just to have it shrouded in mystery, whatnot. But there was a guy who got me into Dark Souls, and he was telling me all about this and how, you know, these bosses were punished for years and all that. And it just sounds so fucking interesting. And it'd be great as a TV series. I mean, you know, short 20-minute episodes, and then the end of season 1 would be like the player going into the world of Landor or whatnot, and then that's when it kicks in from there. It's like, oh, nice little cliffhanger for season 2 sort of thing.
Anime would work with all the ginormous swords and stuff, wouldn't it?
Exactly. Could you imagine like all the you know the gigantic dragons in this game and all, you know, all the other bosses and dark massive knights and stuff? There's no way. I mean, you'd have to have a Rings of Power budget to make this as a live action.
And
thing.
I still don't think you do it right.
No, exactly. Yeah.
How would you tackle the whole? Because a big mechanic of Dark Souls and Souls-esque games is the whole dying and then having to go back and redo, you know, retake all your stuff. How would you capture that?
Well, this is it. This is what I'm saying with season 1 will explain it all. So when you go into season 2 and they die, they come back hollow, don't they?
Yeah.
So that's where. They were going to, like, when they kill the boss, they get I can't remember if it's a gem of some sort that makes them unhollow and they go back to being human sort of thing. Because when you respawn, you come back as like a zombie sort of thing, don't you? You look half dead when you get to the bonfire. And you crush this gem and that makes you back to hollow, back to being human again. See, that was, again, it's tough to explain it to a, you know, especially people that listen that probably haven't played Dark Souls. They're probably, what the fuck are you talking about? I just think that something like this would be better for people to watch if they're into that sort of obviously that game, that style.
Would you do it?
Fans of it?
Would you do it as one episode for, say, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour, explaining everything?
No, I mean,
and then kick off a series.
The thing is with these characters. I mean, I'm not very well dressed into the lore of it. I mean, I like to buy the books and look into it myself, sort of thing, but. Maybe specific episodes, maybe 20 minutes about one per boss sort of thing, or one for some of the main characters that you bump into. Like there's an Iron Knight, there's, like I said, Solaire, why he praises the sun and all that sort of stuff. And then we can go to maybe sort of about, you know, when we talk about these bagmires, these bosses, whatnot. Because I think there's what's it called? There's a stage in that game where it's called. It's kind of like a fun house or whatever I think it's called. It's essentially a death trap. You've got to get through this building, get through all these booby traps, and it can explain why that's there. For example, like in Rings of Power, there's a location that gets, you know, how it shows you how it originated. Spoiler alert, by the way.
Big spoiler alert.
Big spoiler alert. Yeah. But they could do that in this as well.
Yeah, of course.
And just as a fan of the series, I think it would be really good to just have that. Again, when you look at, I know Big G will back me up on this. There's a anime TV series called Goblin Slayer. Sorry, my teeth are poor now. And it looks like it was a Dark Souls game, and they just put it onto anime. It looks so good, and I just think they could have done that with this. I mean, there's other bosses that they brought in the DLC where. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you've seen the game in Dark Souls. It's like you go against a huge dog, like carries a sword in its mouth, sort of thing. So in the DLC, they bring the knight. I can't remember. Is it Trey's or something? I think he's called.
That owned the knife,
and he owns he owns the dog. He owns the dog. The dog's his protector, and the sword that he carries in his mouth is that knight's because he died. And obviously, there you go. So that will explain. So it's just like I'm rambling on a bit here, but I just think it would be good to not have that. Mystery to the game where you can go back to the series and go, that's why this is here, this is why this is there. Then you might have a different experience with it if you played it like that.
Have you got any more Souls-esques on your list before I start talking about anything? John?
No.
Okay, so I considered Elden Ring quite heavily.
Yes, yeah.
But then I was thinking, how would you make? Because I've played a load of Elden Ring and I still don't know what the fuck is going on.
No, exactly, yeah.
But like you're saying, when you go in and read all about stuff, there's so much lore on each of the even the little mini monsters.
Yeah,
it would be so good if you could find some sort of story.
Yeah,
but then I'm also worried that it's, you know, George R.R. Martin had a hand in writing it, and then it would have a shit.
He did for Elden Ring, didn't he? Yeah. But the interview with him, he just said he just created the characters, the story, the origin.
That's
and then From Software just carried on with it. He didn't actually end it. No,
that's all right. So no Game of Thrones esque.
No. So, but again, that's another great example. mean, there is stuff in the game where you could sit down and read it if you want, but then for something like Elden Ring and Dark Souls, you can't actually pause the game and go for it because you're going to fucking die. It doesn't let you pause. Yeah. So just to have that there, I think would just be a great help for gamers or massive fans of it, and just, you know, a little explanation if that. But then some people don't want to do that. But hey, that's just my pick. I love Dark Souls. I would like to have something like that. That's why it's my number 5.
My pick, my list.
Huh?
My choice.
My choice. My list.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
That's my number 5. John, let's go to number 5.
My number 5 is a game that I've only recently started playing, and you know about it because I've told you about it. Days Gone. It is very Walking Dead to a degree, but I don't know. I mean, every time
Days Gone was going to be my number 3. I changed it today. I didn't know it was on yours, but it was my number 3.
See, I thought about that, and then I was thinking, has it got enough to stand it apart?
That's where I changed mine the last minute.
Come on, John, sell it.
Anyway, why is it yours?
That's why I put it my number 5, because because I like the mechanic of, you know, you got to look after the motorbike because that's what gets you from one place to the other, stuff like that. And the camps and things, fine. You got to, you know, build up your trust with all the camps and things. But it's the freakers. Every time you go anywhere near it, it's just the hairs on the back of my neck just stand up every time I play it when you hear them, you know. And I've only just started playing the game, and it's already like I'm thinking I've got a, you know, it's one of those games I really want to finish. I really want to get the whole way through it. I've read that there's going to be. Is there a second one already? Or is
I thought it was. Last I heard, it was. It was it had ended.
Yeah,
they weren't going to support it again.
So basically, Sony agreed to it, but then I think it was something to do with Sony wanted a multiplayer aspect to it, and the creator said no, it's a one-player experience. So that's when Sony was like, right, can it? We don't want it.
Turn that into a stupid battle royale.
I think that's what they were trying to go for.
No. I think it's good the way it is.
But no, I love that game. Yeah. I actually only got to play that myself this year.
Yeah.
But the reason I took it out because, like Dave said, it's very generic, very Walking Dead. And then when you get to a certain part of the story, it's kind of like, okay, but where do we go with this now?
Yeah.
It's like, you know,
because it's like I was a big fan of Walking Dead when it first came out, and I got about as far as I suppose season 8. And then it started going downhill for me, and I kind of lost interest.
Season 8, jeez, you hung with it a bit.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but then when I played it, obviously, if no one knows the aspect of the story, is about a biker who loses his wife at the beginning, and the rest of the game he tries to find her, isn't it?
Yeah. He's met Boozer.
Spoiler alert: he finds her 3/4 of the way in, if that.
Yeah.
And then his wife says she wants to stay, she wants to try and cure these people, and then it doesn't actually go anywhere with that afterwards, does it?
Oh, am I remembering correctly? Have you finished it yet, John?
Not quite, no.
I think. Have you finished it?
Yeah, I finished it.
Yeah,
wasn't there quite a weird twist at the end?
Not that I remember. No.
Don't say too much.
Hang on, John.
I haven't got that end.
Don't listen, John. Do you remember there was that scientist coming in on the chopper?
Yeah,
who's always wearing a hazmat suit.
The Nero guys, yeah.
Do you remember wasn't it hinted something about him?
No, I don't remember.
Because I know they've made up with that guy O'Brien who used to work with Nero or whatever, and he's like feeding them like secrets and things, and he's helping them bring Nero down.
I'm going to text you, Iran, because I don't want to spoil it.
He's going to text it to me, but carry on, John. Anyway,
yeah.
The hordes in that are fucking awesome.
That's what I mean.
Terrifying,
that's. I mean, the first time I came across a horde was the. Is it Lake Horse with the train on the tracks?
Okay, yeah.
And they all frightened. Probably took me off.
If you found some of the nests you got to do during the daylight.
The nests. I found the nests not too hard to do because only a few come out and you can kill it. But the horde, oh my god.
Okay, yeah.
I think that could be very interesting.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
So I think that was my first horde, and you just, like I say, you hear them and you think, what kind of hell is that? And if you get too close, it's too late because it must have taken me like 4 or 5 times to try and kill this horde because every time because you'd run somewhere and you'd think you're safe. And I didn't realise they could fucking climb up on the buildings. I thought, I don't know what. That's just funny. I'll jump up.
Some
on this
can't
building.
Because if you got like higher balconies and stuff, and
they can't climb ladders. Apparently.
Yeah.
So if you go somewhere where there's a ladder, they can't climb up the ladder. But you have to be careful; they can't climb up on another roof and get on.
That's right. Yeah, and jump over.
They needed more because half the time I encountered hordes on that game. It was in the middle of like the countryside, and that's not because you can just ride away from them and pick them off and run away, shoot a load, get on your bike, drive off.
Yeah.
But then there's a couple of very small set pieces in that where they're in an urban environment or something.
And you had to take them out, didn't you?
And they're really good because that's what it was. They needed more of that.
Yeah. There was only a couple in there, but
that's what I mean. One of them was that sawmill, wasn't it?
That's right.
That was so good.
Good God, I shat my pants through some of that.
They reckon there's about 1,000.
Like, Molotovs, I need more Molotovs.
Yeah, seriously? But when you waste them in a big horde in a field that you can just run, get on your bike, kill a few, run, get on your bike, kill a few.
I like the bit where I was at one point, it was quite close to the beginning, I suppose. I was going on the bike, I was going to do a little, like an errand, and as you're going through this little town, this is like not a narrator, but you hear this thing. It's like telling you, there's. I think it's like a voice in his head, isn't it? Like Deacon's head, and it's like, I must clear these nests, make the way easier for the next time. And I think, so now you kind of like get off the bike and you got to find. I think it was 5 nests in this little town.
Yeah.
And that wasn't too bad. But then when I came across this horde by this train, and it's like, frightened the shit out of me. And because I've never played a game like almost, like that before. And it took so long to try and kill that lot.
So Days Gone, I think it has potential for maybe a 2-season thing.
Yeah, I don't think this isn't something that's going to run.
Isn't the main guy Deacon St. John or something?
Deacon St. John.
That sounds like a very generic.
It does, doesn't it?
Name as well.
Yeah, he's also Jedi Starkiller from Force Unleashed.
He's what?
It's the same actor.
Who's it?
Sam Whittle or something. I can't remember.
You're just talking about the game now. Bring it back to how you would make that.
Why would you make it?
Good things from the game into a TV series.
Again, this is because like I say, it's very like Walking Dead, but I think there's Walking Dead has got quite a good following to a degree. I know it's lost.
It's hard to see Deacon then just look at it and go, "That's Daryl from Walking Dead."
But that's what I like.
It even has a crossbow in the game.
Yeah, but it's not just about the freakers and the breakers, and it's not
hordes,
just about
lots of fucking hordes.
I mean, you're building a trust up with the different camps, and each camp can provide you with different things and stuff. There is an actual story into it, and you just follow it along. But I'm really enjoying it at the moment.
I liked it.
Bloody gory.
It is.
It is actually. Yeah. It's one of those games that I found the first time I came across a horde, frightened the shit out of me. The sound from them, I stupidly.
Have you come across the big brute?
Yeah,
the break.
Was he a breaker or something?
Yes, it's right. Yeah,
the Marauders and that lot. Yeah,
that's a good choice, John. Anything else on that? If not, we'll go to number 4.
We'll go 4. Yeah.
Number 4 then.
Number 4.
Back to you, Dave. Number 4, sir.
So when you were talking about your number 5, that was speaking to me. Talking about the lore and the background of it.
Okay.
Right, so this one's a bit of a weird pick for me when you think about it. But I've picked it for much the similar reasons that you picked
Dark Souls. Okay.
And it's a horror. Any ideas?
What do we say?
Dead by Daylight?
Yes.
Is it really?
Right, yeah.
Is it really Dead by Daylight?
Yeah.
Okay,
wow. Okay, for people who might not have played Dead by Daylight, it's only online. It's got no story mode.
Yeah.
And it's like a asymmetric killer horror. So you've got 4 people trying to complete generators in this realm.
Yeah.
Like a little pocket dimension.
To get away,
in the mists, right? Or the entity. There's always, it refers to the entity. And if you play through the sort of seasons that they've done online, there's always a different killer. They have done licensed ones like Freddy and
all the famous
Michael
ones,
Myers,
isn't it?
things like that. But you could leave, and Pinhead, you could leave all those out. They've got their own unique horror characters. But the reason I chose this for a TV series, because when you do the sort of like the seasons, and you complete challenges to get your rewards throughout the seasons, whatever, you can unlock audio files. So there's quite a lot of lore behind it. And you can find out, like, one season will focus on one of their killers, and you can find out their sort of backstory kind of thing.
Right.
So they're all quite rich, and the idea is there's some sort of entity, some malign force, Call of Cthulhu style,
all right,
dark one kind of thing, who is dragging killers and sadistic murderers and whatever into this dimension in the mists kind of thing, and then pulling random people to be hunted and sacrificed to it.
Then they hook them up on a...
you hook them up and then the entity claims them.
That's what that is. It's
It's like a little spider legs, black things. And so I would like the TV series to sort of do that. But I think you need... because there are characters, survivor characters, who are now trying to look into figuring out about the entity's realms and things like that.
Yeah.
So
Sounds.
I would like to follow that storyline of a survivor being captured or being dragged into this realm. But you could do each episode. You could be in a different sort of trying to escape from a different horror killer.
Yeah.
That is
different realms.
There's more than enough of them on that bloody
there
game,
is a
isn't
lot,
there?
yeah, and they've been made, and there are quite a few unique ones that they've made. So you can go into sort of like, you know, you can have a different horror sort of flair to it each episode. You can do that one a bit more episodic, but then there's lots of lore that you can dive into to sort of.
If the show gets big enough, then you can bring the ones that we all know, like the Freddy and Jason.
If you could get the license for them and things like that, because obviously they've got to pay for the licenses and whatever. But but I just like the idea of.
That's really good.
You've got all these horrible monster killers are being drawn for some reason, and it's not really explained what the entity is, why it's doing it.
Yeah.
And I quite like that mystery. Yeah. It'd be a good sort of mystery horror TV
because,
series.
like you said, it's an online multiplayer thing, and it just doesn't.
But
go there and do that,
and you can play it, and never like my brother-in-law plays it, and he never does any of the challenges, never does any of the seasons. He just enjoys getting terrified when someone bursts around a corner and blats him and hangs him on a hook.
Yeah, I used to love playing that game during COVID.
Yeah,
it was really good.
Like I say, if you go through and you read and you're trying to do all the challenges to unlock all the audio files for the different characters and things,
and there's a lot more to it.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I've played it a couple of times myself and didn't realise there was that.
I didn't realise there was that much
deep,
to it.
It's hidden beyond the tomes.
Yeah.
So each tome focuses on like a killer and a survivor kind of thing. And as you do the challenges to get through, you know, and it also gives you like little charms and things that you can hang on. So that's what most people probably do.
You can use those, can't you?
Yeah, you can put them on your character.
That's
and
it.
things like that.
You can do like extra running speed or something, isn't it? Or
no, it doesn't give you any boost. It's just cosmetic items.
Oh, right. Okay.
So
I thought it was one you can like crouch quieter or something. Or
well, no, you've got like abilities you can use.
Okay, that's what I'm going to use.
But I just like because it, you know, we all like here we like a good horror movie, don't we?
Absolutely, yeah.
The M.T.V.B. So you can have one episode where you've got like the slasher sort of character, the sadistic hillbilly with his chainsaw,
like a clown, and
there is a
clown.
Well, you've got the hillbillies like a malformed
That's
chainsaw wielding guy. So you could do your Texas Chainsaw Massacre homage with that sort of horror element of you trying to escape from that unstoppable brutish chainsaw thing, and then you could do the sort of like they call it. She's the spirit. She's sort of a hacked up Japanese girl.
Yeah.
Who sort of like phases in and out of reality, so you can do the more ghostly jump scare kind of thing,
ghostly grudge sort of.
But again, even they've got all their backstories.
Oh, okay.
Like her father, you know, basically went crazy because he got let go and stressed from work in Japan.
So how would you structure the show? So would you start the show as like the game, like
no, it would be
like this, and then it goes into the beat?
It might be good to do like a first little intro of some random person waking up, not knowing what the fuck's going on, and getting hooked, and do it really gory, and
then go into
some of the people who are aware that this entity exists and is kidnapping people in the real world, and then them trying to, you know, get into and
then start explaining the killers one by one
whilst going through and.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think that's genius.
And that's from just it's not got any single player game. But I just thought a bit of a weird pick.
Well, it's even harder because like you said, it's even harder because it's a multiplayer game, isn't it? So it's just I mean, I never knew it had that much lore to it personally. I knew there was seasons and stuff like that, but I never knew it was that deeper than just a normal multiplayer game. Yeah, so I'm quite impressed with that. I think it's damn good.
I've argued my case.
Absolutely. Yeah, took my idea, but yeah. What? I'm joking. Thieving bastard.
I didn't figure out.
No, he didn't know I was going to pick it. But no, that's a damn good choice. It makes me want to play it again now, to be honest.
I must admit.
I always kept picking the Demogorgon. Hey. Well, it's Stranger Things, isn't it?
But they've lost the license for that now.
No,
so unless you had it, if you already own it, you can still use it. But you can't play Hawkins Laboratory or anything.
No, yeah, because we bought the add-on during COVID and whatnot.
But there's so many good killers on there and so many ones that you know.
I need to play Pinhead. I haven't played that character.
Pinhead's quite hard to use. But
is he?
I terrify my brother-in-law with him because he hates how good I am with him.
It is a bit worrying. But no, good pick, sir. Yeah. Anything else on that at all?
No, just that's what I said. Good horror theme.
Yeah. Nice. Good choice. My number 4 is pretty much straightforward. It's probably going to be on your list, so I'm sorry if it is.
What do you want me to tell you if it is?
I'll say it and you just tell me. Well,
Okay.
well, we're going to come to you if it is there. You better clash away. So mine is Assassin's Creed.
That's not on mine.
I picked
But
that.
a good pick, though.
I picked that because, again, I don't think a movie could ever do justice to this video game and bung it all into one 2-hour
the
movie or
movie
something.
was shit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've never even watched the movie because everyone just told me it was crap, so I never bothered with it.
No,
I am
too
not
much.
the massive Assassin's Creed fan that other people are out there or other friends of mine.
enjoy it.
John's more Assassin's Creed fan than I am.
Yeah.
I just think
Did
as
you
a
have it,
TV
John?
You what?
Is it on your list?
Yeah, I've played.
No, is it
on
on
your
your
list?
list?
No, it's not on my list. No.
So yeah, so
I've already told him it wasn't on my list. Yeah.
I only picked this on it because I thought it would be great as not. So do you remember when we talk about American Horror Story? How every season you don't need to watch the season before. Okay, so this is how I like to do it with Assassin's Creed. Every season is a different
Time period.
culture.
Very true. Yes.
So like season 1, Vikings. Season
Yeah.
2, Egyptians. Season 3, pirates.
Romans, whatever.
Renaissance.
Romans,
Exactly,
Renaissance.
yeah.
You know, and then you can just go at it.
So-
I fancy season 5. It's in Egypt. Let's go and do that straight
I've
away.
got a burning question, though.
Okay.
If you're going to do Assassin's Creed, are you going to do all the weird stuff with the aliens in the real world, with Desmond when it started, and then
Yeah,
what's
that's
her
a
face?
good idea.
That's a good point.
Because
It can be done.
Yeah,
but it has to be done right, though, isn't it?
But I felt that was a weak part from the whole Assassin's Creed.
So the issue with me with Assassin's Creed, I think I played 1 and 2, and then I didn't get back to it till Odyssey. So I'm kind of missed out on the rest of the story of that aspect in the future.
But
So I don't know if it
would
got
worry
reset
me-
in Odyssey or whatever.
What would and I'm putting this to you to how you would have it in your TV series of it. So what the problem I found with Assassin's Creed is you really liked running around Rome or wherever
Yeah.
in Renaissance Rome or being a pirate in Black Flag.
Yeah.
And then you had to go and do a really boring
Yeah.
puzzle game bit as Desmond or whatever.
Yeah.
That you didn't really care because it was some random stuff about aliens. And I'm
Yeah.
sure there's people out there that really like that, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's mass market appeal. So
I don't think, no, I wouldn't have that in there.
No.
But then is it Assassin's Creed?
That's the thing with the puzzles. I mean, I must admit, the puzzles.
The Apple of Eden and the Spear.
Yeah.
of
I mean,
whatever
maybe 1 or 2, but not like heavily
No.
on it. Not like, there wouldn't be one every episode sort of thing.
but then it pulls you out. So if you're really enjoying
But then you've got- but then,
in ancient Egypt, and then you've got it's an episode of.
But then going back to stuff like Odyssey, where they changed up, where you got to go hard for cultists, and they brought like the mythological creatures into it and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I think something like that would work.
Yeah.
I remember actually Origins brought aliens into it, didn't it? So
well,
Yeah.
it's the
it was a slight hint, though, wasn't it?
Do we?
When you find the pyramid and you,
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, if someone hasn't played it and we're kind of like going to give it away.
well,
I mean, I wouldn't like to have the alien aspect to it personally,
They're
but
all
then if the
aliens, aren't
die-hard
they?
fan is going to be like, I might throw little hints at it at the start,
Okay,
Yes.
just
and then
tease
if
it.
people are like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
this might
focus
be
on
interesting,
it.
then maybe focus on it in later seasons.
Yes. Yeah.
Because
If there's a second or
then-
a third season, then maybe.
yeah,
bring
because
it
then
in,
you
but-
can test your audiences
Yes.
and they'll be like, well, I'm not very fond of that because I think. In going back to American Horror Story again, in season 2 of my favorite season, but the Asylum, they brought aliens into it, but never really answered the question
No.
to it. It's like they were just there,
Yeah.
and I like the aspect of it, but I wanted answers. So maybe like I'm going with that, tease it, and if fans are like, on the online, this, I reckon it's going to be this, I reckon it's going to be that. Then you've got something, then haven't you? Really?
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe just throw it out as a little teaser,
Yeah, I mean, it was-
see where it goes,
I mean, 'cause
and then by
I think
season
I've
10 we might
played-
answer.
yeah. I mean, I think I've played all the Assassin's Creed games, and the only part of
No,
them that
see,
I
I've not
don't
played, like,
is-
Brotherhood or-
are these puzzles. You got to do the puzzles, and the puzzles bore me.
Yeah.
I'm not really into.
It's like when I
I'd
play God
rather-
of War.
I'd
It's like
rather-
I can't stand the puzzles in God of War. I
Yeah.
just want to beat shit up.
Yeah.
You know,
In
I don't wanna-
horrifically
I'm gonna be like,
violent ways.
here's my axe. Oh, I'm gonna throw it this way here, then I'm gonna get it there. I just want to, I just want to beat shit up.
I want to play the game. Yeah.
The only thing I hate about God of War is the fucking puzzles. Sorry for any God of War fans listening, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, Assassin's Creed, short and sweet.
Yeah.
Every season would be a different story, a different culture,
Totally
different time era, and then
what
just
would
go,
you like,
yep.
like 4 or 5 episodes, maybe? You wouldn't.
No, I'd say 10. 10
you wanna do
episodes.
10?
Yeah, do 10.
Okay.
Do
Yeah.
10.
Okay.
Have to do 10 because depending on how the story, what the time era is and whatnot,
Yeah, I
what you can
suppose.
throw in.
Lots of jumping into haystacks.
Yeah, lots of fucking jumping.
Yeah.
Or synchronized on the equal spots.
Yeah. That would be fucking well cool. Some of them.
But yeah,
Yeah.
That-
I mean,
that
the,
would-
the London game was pretty good.
I never played it.
Valhalla's pretty good.
Black Flag was the best.
Black Flag.
Never played Black Flag.
Black Flag was amazing. Oh, mate.
I was a pirate.
Yeah.
But that's what I did mention pirates. So I knew we knew it was a pirate.
Yeah.
But yeah, easy, simple. Number 4, Assassin's Creed.
Definitely. Good one.
Number 4, sir.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are you just sitting there enjoying listening, John?
I was actually.
That's why you mentioned Assassin's Creed. I fucking love that game.
Oh, dear. Okay.
John is a professional. He's well drilled.
He's only been doing this for 2 years.
Yeah.
Practice.
Right, my number 4.
Definitely doesn't have to unlock his phone. Look at his list.
No, because I changed the list twice, didn't I? So, yeah, I had to make sure I had the right list on my phone. Right, my number 4 is Rise, Son of Rome.
Oh, I love that game.
Yeah.
I fucking love that game.
Yeah.
That's an underrated Xbox exclusive, that is.
Definitely. I really, really.
And it's done by the guys that did Crysis.
Yeah.
Did you know? I never knew that until recently.
Yeah. I mean, you look at how popular Gladiator the film was, and I just think,
Did you ever watch the Rome TV series on BBC?
not all
That
of
was
it.
produced by HBO.
Yeah, not all of it.
I've got the box set, dude.
Oh,
You
really?
need to
Okay.
watch it.
Yeah, I might
It's
do that.
such a good show.
That was a good game.
It was.
I liked the mechanics in the game.
I can only see 1 or 2 seasons out of that, though. I can't see it being a big thing.
Yeah, but it had a good little story running through it.
Oh, absolutely.
So
And epic battles in the first few stages as well. So you need a budget for this.
I like
TV
how
show.
it kind of like I was going to say it kind of held your hand as you went through it, but that's not so much that. It's more. It was an easy game to pick up.
Yeah.
And it got harder as you played it.
But then you had like the upper elite Romans, and you had the barbarians, and don't you go to England at one point? And
I think so.
And the Saxon English
Britons.
the Britons. That's it. That's the one I were looking for. Yeah.
But yeah, I could
Gauls
see that
and
the Gauls,
Thracians and all
the
that.
Franks.
Yeah.
I just think
The Franks.
Yeah,
Well, I think they were Gauls back then.
Yeah.
They were the French.
Yeah. No, yeah, but the Franks were Germans, weren't they?
No. Franks are French, don't they? Anyway.
Sure. Anyway, but yeah.
Moving on. Before we reveal our stupidity.
They worked their way through Europe to get
People online are like listening to this going, it's not fucking Franks.
Yeah, shut up. You know nothing.
Fucking idiots. Fucking morons.
God damn. But yeah.
If you want to call us morons, we'll pass out.
Comment below, let us know.
Well, yeah, comment below and just
aim them at me.
Just aim them at John.
Yeah. I could see that being quite a good series, but like you say, it might only have 2 seasons in it. So it's not something that's going to run for a while.
But in all fairness, the BBC one was only 2 seasons, but it does show.
If it had a good budget, that would be
Yeah.
I think
missing some Gladiator start, as in the movie Gladiator, that era.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not oversaturated, is it?
No, not at all. Not at all. But as this is a game, the only issue, like I said, it might have probably only last 1 season because it's a revenge story in theory, isn't it? Again, very much like Gladiator, but
his family, yeah.
That's right, yeah. So, but would you have the battle scenes? Because obviously you hit the trigger, it goes into slow mo. So would you have that to say like this signifies it's a rise on Rome?
I wouldn't focus on it, but I think
you could do it like 300.
You'd have to throw it. Yeah, you'd have to throw it.
Have
in
you ever
now
played
and again
it?
to be
Rise on Rome?
No, I missed on that one because I was a PlayStation.
You're a PlayStation guy, yeah.
But there was that game couldn't remember what it was called. I was trying to tell you about.
That was the PS2 one you were talking about. Yeah, I remember that.
I did Google it and I can't remember what it's called still. But one half of it you played as a gladiator.
Yeah.
Just a gladiator, beating and chopping arms off. And I remember you could pick up the severed arms and hit people with
Bash
it.
them with it.
Someone listening will know what I'm talking about. And then the other half, you had to play as like a stupid blonde spy Roman guy who had to sneak around and find, and that was shit.
That was crap.
The gladiator.
It's like when you play Mary Jane in the Spider-Man game. Fucking shit. Why is this even on there?
Yeah.
But like I said, the fighting parts where you go slow mo and he does all this. You have to throw a couple of those in.
That's what
surely.
I mean. I wouldn't focus on it, but I would put it in a few times.
Yeah,
as a nod to the fans.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Enough to keep the fans happy.
Because then you have to differentiate between that and Gladiator when you to go, it does this. Yeah,
but this is the thing with a lot of the computer games. It's like what's made that computer game successful, and they'll, like you say, it'll either be the story or there'll be the way that they've told the game or how you've played the game. So it's like that, like with the slow mo bits. So you couldn't do this series and then not put them in. So yeah, I just think it'd be quite good.
Nice.
That'd be a series I really would be interested in watching.
It's a good pick. I mean, I fucking watched that.
Yeah,
I played that game recently as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
I haven't played it for years.
I got it on my Steam Deck. It was $1.99. I was like, how fucking bargain is that?
Yeah. I was saying to you about they got a Black Friday sale. They've got loads of games on there at the moment. But
yeah. It's a good pick, sir. Anything else on that? If not, we'll go to number 3.
I got number 3.
Let's do number 3s.
Number 3.
David, back to you, sir. Number 3, please.
Let's do this.
My number 3 is another horror-y one.
Woo! I like this.
This is going to be for you who like the
Me
Alien
especially,
franchise.
is it? All right, okay, here we go.
It is Dead Space.
Oh!
Now, just to clarify, I seem to remember from the depths of my mind, early on they did an anime Dead Space bit.
They did it was a movie.
Was it a movie?
It was a movie, yeah.
Because I couldn't remember, and I literally thought about it as I'd done my list and I was on my way over here, so I'm still going to put it in.
Dead Space Downfall, it was called. It was the prequel to Dead Space. So what happened on the Ishimura before it happened?
It's my list, and I'm putting it in.
Take it.
Dead Space.
Go for it.
And again, this, I would do maybe like...
Is this live action again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Live action, and I'd do like maybe just 1 or 2 series, maybe 8 episodes in the first one, and I'd just focus on
the first game only.
To start with, yeah,
right.
And then if
it gets better, then you can do number 2, obviously. Yeah.
Because the first game is so good.
Fuck yeah!
And it would in my mind's eye, if I was seeing the TV series, it would be very much like the Alien film.
Yeah, I mean,
in that vein, as in you've got the cramped, eerie, empty spaceships with all the gore and the, and then you really amp up the body horror of the necromorphs.
You have to.
You have to. If you had a good budget for CGI or physical, or even physical props for the necromorphs, because there are some terrifying bits in it. And even the silhouette, so it would pay the service to the fans, because, you could see that, like the one with the side arms.
Yes,
the basic one. If you saw that in silhouette on a wall coming around a corner, because you'd see like a little flashlight flickering on it, and you'd be like, oh, I've only got like 5 shots left with this stupid like plasma cutter or whatever it is.
Plasma cutter, that's right, yeah.
And I would really amp up that sort of...
Do you remember what it said on the walls at the beginning? It tells you how to kill them.
Yeah, shoot the limbs or something, isn't it?
Cut off the limbs.
Cut off the limbs, yeah. But really amp up that old school Alien style vibe. So you know the mystery of what's gone on. The first few episodes you wouldn't reveal it.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's him sort of exploring, trying to figure out what's happened, what the hell is going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have little hints of them, and like you say, the messages on the wall and things like that, and then go into it hard towards the end of the series.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe hear them scuttling and stuff, but not actually see.
And do you remember there's
so many ways you can cut off for a cliffhanger for the next episode. I could just see it now. I'd be like, it's fucking awesome.
And go into it full on. Have those terrifying baby.
Yeah.
Remember the babies in the nursery?
That's right, yeah. That's number 2, yeah.
And then they sprout those tentacles and flick darts.
But no, you nailed it right there, because we said on the video games we turn into movies, me and Gal picked this for a movie. And I said that this no, we said that, I mentioned that, like you've pretty much said, this could essentially be the next Alien franchise. If we forget that, the Xenomorph one's around, Dead Space can easily take its place with all the grotesque violence and animal, alien stuff and whatnot.
But it's just as horrific, I think.
And then you go, I think why I would like it as a TV series, because you could spread the story out. It wouldn't have to be constrained into 2 hours.
Sure, yeah.
So you start off from the place of not knowing anything. Then you add in the terrifying horror moments and the body horror.
You can build the suspense even longer, can't you?
And then you start veering into the whole cult aspect of it, where you've got the twisted double helix almost.
The marker, isn't it?
Marker, yeah. And then you can sort of go into that, and then what the hell's this? What's it? And then work your way through it serious. So you could have that mystery again that, a lot of good TV series have, or that I like anyway.
Would you have the Nicole backstory twist to it as well? Because that's one of the reasons why Marcus goes, isn't it? It's because she's there.
I would say yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You have to, really, don't you?
Yeah, because doesn't he? He's only getting messages from her, and so.
But he's like the only one who sort of sees her as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so I would definitely put that in. I think.
Like his insanity's going. It's very much like a...
And I'd also put that...
Death May Die sort of aspect. He's going insane.
And I would also put that horrible scene in where he has to inject his own eyeball for something.
That's number 2. That's in number 2, yeah. That's nasty, that is.
Just as a fan homage.
Yeah, you have to.
But lean big into the body horror, you know, the distorted necromorphs and scything things off. I'd have a lot of like, you know, I'd make it quite claustrophobic, I think.
Yeah.
To add to that terror, so maybe some shots from almost of like real extreme close-ups inside his when the visor comes down, and you're almost inside his mask.
Yeah,
hearing his breathing, the panic, and you've got the marker going down each shot, so you try and capture what it is when you're playing the original Dead Space.
Yep.
Of you know,
you could do that very well. Like you say,
and
put the viewer in that position. The viewer's going to be like they're going to shit themselves.
Yeah. And like I say, I would like it as a TV series. I think as opposed to
you need a hell of a budget for it, though. When you
would, yeah. But then they are throwing money at things.
Yeah, true.
This is true. So you've got the right studio behind it.
And anyway, you didn't say this episode isn't titled "The Top 5 Games You Would Turn into TV Series If You Had an Amazon Budget," is it?
No.
This is my list.
But
my damn list.
This is my fucking list.
I'm throwing as much money as I wanted on
it. Take my money. I'd fucking watch Dead Space TV series any day. But are you looking forward to the remake?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah, I'm Callisto Protocols in a couple of weeks. I'm
so excited for
fucking
that,
hyped up there. Yeah. That with headphones.
Yeah.
Brown fucking pants, mate.
Yeah. Brown pants moment. Yeah. Definitely.
Anything else on that? It's a damn good picture.
Nope.
Right.
I think I've explained my...
my number 3 is super fucking tough now because I've got a choice of what one to go for. And I really don't know what to do. Right, okay. So I was going to pick Death Stranding because I do love that game.
I was thinking about that as well.
The issue with it is trying to explain it. It's like trying to explain Quantum Tickets to Chavs. Yeah. It's like I think people will lose interest after the first season and be like lost or leftovers. Be like, I don't fucking get it, so cancel it. So I changed it to my favourite zombie game of all time, which is Dying Light.
Oh yeah,
I picked that very last minute. I think this would be great as a TV series.
Do you like Dying Light, do you?
I love Dying Light. Dying Light is my favourite zombie game of all time.
Parkour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zombies, parkour. What else do you need? It is just... I mean...
I haven't played that in years.
I know.
I know it was a new one.
But think about it, right? So you've got this... You're on an island, aren't you? You're trying to get off it for, you know... the whole series and whatnot, but then you could do so much with this because obviously you've got different types of zombies in this as well.
The volatiles.
Yeah. When the night goes down, you're fucked, mate. Yeah. You're absolutely screwed. But as you progress in the game, you learn how to tackle them and how to what can defeat them, like the UV lights and all that.
I was going to say, if you
could you imagine the tension built on that?
And stylistically, colour-wise, you could do some really cool shots with just like them being in the UV light at night.
Exactly. I mean. Let's go to. Did you ever see I'm Legend with Will Smith?
Yeah.
You know, I have said it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going into like. I want it like. I don't want to like. But I want the aspect of when the sunlight goes down. Yeah. How terrifying! There is a time limit to like. I think his dog gets bitten, doesn't it? And then there's creatures trying to get him, but they can't get to him because of the sunlight. Because it's that timer going down to when the ultimate danger is. I mean, during the day you're in danger. You've got all these other zombies coming at you. Big fuck off ones that shoot slime at you, all this acidy stuff. But then at night time, it's like 5 times as worse, and you have to run parkour for your life. I would like to add in the maybe the following. Did you ever do the DLC?
I did
that. With all the cultists, and it was like a big cult thing. And you had to go and take down the nests and everything. The
only downside with that is it made it in farmland, so you couldn't do as much parkour.
Yeah, you had to drive around a bit more, but I wouldn't do that with this. I mean. There's so much to do with Dying Light that could be great as a next step up from Days Gone, Walking Dead. Yeah. You know, they're very slow walking. They're very, you know, falling down is going to get me. This thing, they come at you, they run at you, they jump at you. You know, you do your parkour to escape. You create and invent all these new weapons and everything. That was kind of the down towards the end of the game because you start getting guns and stuff, don't you? So it kind of doesn't bring you the tension, the fear anymore of what you need to do and stuff. As a show, I cannot deny I think it would be really great. The parkour thing might be a bit too much for a TV show. I mean, it depends on how you do it, really, isn't it? Yeah. How you would film it.
I think you could make it quite dramatic.
Yeah, that's the issue.
The scene at the beginning of Casino Royale.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I have issues with chase scenes because there's always this old saying when you was in film school that every chase scene can always have Benny Hill music to it, and it would look stupid. I need to try and figure out a way to do a chase scene that would be high octane, but also scary and, tension built at the same time.
Between UV lights.
Yeah, exactly. And so I just think it'd be a great idea. It would be the zombie show I would like to watch.
I think it would be better than The Days Gone,
and not so focus much on factions and peoples and whatnot. Like, we need to get off this fucking island, and we need to do it fast. And we're restricted to daylight only because there's so much danger out during the night. And you could do so much with the whole nighttime thing as well, like go out for going with meds, but you got to run out, past time, whatnot. The prosthetics I could think of that could come up with these what are they called again? Volatiles.
The volatiles are the super amped.
The super amped ones, that's it. Yeah. Again, again, going back to the following, they talk about how we should destroy their nests during the day because it's even safer then. Yeah. No, sorry, at nighttime because they're all out at night.
Yeah.
So you go in during nighttime to the nest. So this is so much more. I could go on forever with this, so I'm not going to bore everyone with it. But Dying Light would have to be the pick. As much as I would love Death Stranding to be a TV show,
that was an honourable mention to me. That was very close to going on my list.
Very, very close. But I just think it'll be a show that people will lose interest in because it's not about action. It's not about.
I still think you'd get that hardcore fan. It would be a highbrow.
But would you get it if it wasn't a Hideo Kojima game? A Hideo Kojima game. Would you have that fan base if that wasn't the case, though?
I think you would.
Yeah.
Like, if you did it in like Hannibal, the TV series Hannibal, you did it very stylistically like that.
True, yeah.
Because as a when you see them, those I can't remember what they're called now. The monsters when it's raining.
Yeah.
And when the rain comes, if you take out some of the Hideo Kojima weirdness,
the BTs you talk about,
the BTs, and focused on that element stylistically, I think you've got a good thing.
Yeah, especially when you've got the little monitor and everything.
Going quicker.
Death Stranding is right up my alley. It's one of my favourite games of all time. And, again, I don't know why it's not in the list. I just think it would attract a certain audience. I just don't know why. People are being, why has he got a fucking baby hooked up to him? It's fucking stupid. I don't get it. It's just...
But then they don't need to watch it, do they?
No, it's just true. But then... It's when the game came out, it got really bad reviews from all the critics because they didn't get it. And then when players actually played it, it's like, I get it. I actually like this fucking game. So I'm just worried about that, really. But I might change it. I might go back to put Death Stranding.
I think there's a very, very close for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Dying Light, my number 3. That's what I've gone with. John?
My number 3 would be Wolfenstein.
Ooh, nice.
Nazis.
If the Nazis won the war, that's interesting
cool,
as fuck.
Yeah. I just think, considering all the different games and the way the story's gone along, I think
BJ
Blazkowicz.
I think it'd be good.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really
a good action, wouldn't it?
I think it'd be quite a good laugh. And considering the games and things that have been made into films and TV shows, they haven't really done a Nazi one, what?
Well, there was the Castle at Hightower, whatever it was.
Oh, yeah, Man in the High Tower.
Man in the High Tower, that's it, yeah.
But, I just
But that wasn't very actiony, was it?
No.
You could go, if you amped up the...
Wolfenstein would be.
If you amped up the violence and the action.
Yeah, definitely.
I just think...
No, but that's a really good pick, actually. I don't even know why I didn't think of that. Yeah.
Completely skipped my thoughts.
But it's a damn good game, though, as well.
I loved them all, yeah. Tell a lie, I didn't play the latest version of it.
Oh, the 80s one's shit.
Did you play the one with the two twins?
That's it, that's the one.
Oh, is that the one?
I haven't played that one yet, no.
No, it's fucking dire, mate. I only gave it a try because it was on the Game Pass. I was like, it's free, I'll give it a go. And it's just, no, it's just...
It's not worth the time of my life.
No, it really wasn't. It's not Wolfenstein. It's a shame, really. Because hopefully they do 3. But why is Wolfenstein on the list, though? Why would you have it on there?
I just think because it's something different for a change. I mean, and it's a series of games I've played since day one. It's like in the 80s when you had Wolfenstein 3D. I can remember with Hitler. So I've kind of followed them all the way along, and I just like the idea of it.
Doesn't it go a bit OTT in number 2? They go to the moon or something.
Yeah, but that's where. Again, like the cultists and things. It's like Himmler into this cult, and he was
big into his occult stuff.
He always was.
In real life.
Yeah.
So they brought some of that into the game, and old BJ had to work his way through all the old. You work your way up, but I don't know. Like I say, I haven't played the latest one, and whether I would have a TV show go that far, I'm not sure.
Well, so
how would you start the show?
I would start it off in 1944.
So you would explain that they won the war?
Yeah.
Right.
And then you work your way along there. Obviously, then you got like the
Would you bring like the mechanical dogs into it and everything and whatnot?
Yeah, you got. Yeah. Because then it would make it stand apart from, say, Man in the High Tower.
Yeah. So would you do like season 1 was based on the first game, season 2 on the second game, or? Because don't forget you had that massive DLC expansion which was before the first game. That was really fucking good.
Yeah.
But it was a bit OTT with the whole occult thing was the issue.
Yeah, I mean, was it Return to Castle Wolfenstein or something?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, like you say, you could bring. I mean, there was more than just the big dogs, though. Remember the great?
There's loads of things.
The great big like SS robot type thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you could do this. I think, and it was something different to what's on TV at the moment. I think it would. Whether many people would watch it or not, I don't know.
If you lent
very hardcore, very violent as well.
If you lent into the hardcore violence and the like the action side of it, rather than worrying too much about story, I think you've got it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you'd have to hint at the story somehow.
Well, yeah,
but not focus on it. If you know what I mean, yeah.
But you got to focus on the whole, because then they build up like a revolution in number 2.
Yeah.
Is it in the 60s or something? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
They hide out on that boat and they build up a gang, don't they, to take out Hitler and stuff.
They bring old BJ back into the fray, don't they? Yeah. It'd be quite interesting.
But would you doesn't he get like a super suit?
Yeah.
Would you put that into the show?
I think you'd have to.
Yeah.
You'd have to try and keep to the game.
Oh, especially number 2, you have to, because of what a certain thing happens. Yeah. So yeah. But would you do that twist in the show as well?
Yeah, you'd have to.
But the gamers would see it coming. That is the issue, isn't it?
Yeah, but then you're not.
But obviously, not everyone's a fan of Wolfenstein, so not everyone's going to get the twist, are they? So.
I mean, I didn't really watch much of The Man in the High Tower, so I don't know.
I've never seen it. I know of it. I've never watched it.
Well, it was received, so I don't really know whether Wolfenstein as a TV show would garner as many people or more. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a show I'd like to see because
it's your list, John.
And exactly, yeah.
It's your list, mate. I think it's a good pick. I think I'd fucking watch that show.
I'd enjoy watching it. I think, like I said,
there's so many good ones. I'd watch all of these at the moment. I really fucking would.
Same here. Netflix, if you're listening, come on.
This is it.
Do it, man.
Anything else on that, sir?
No. We've all played this already.
It fucking ain't. Number 2s.
Number 2.
David, back to you, sir.
Right. So my number 2 is Red Dead Redemption.
Oh,
come on!
You turned that into a film, didn't you? That was your pick for the movie.
That's why I didn't put it in this one.
Nah.
You can tell I didn't listen to that episode.
You asshole!
I was recuperating.
You could have recuperated listening to M.T.V.B.
I could have. Yeah.
God damn!
It was too painful. Not
John listened to us when he was waiting for a ferry.
I listened to.
He listened to all of Spooktacular, and he was on Spooktacular.
I know, but I listened to all 5 episodes of that from when I left where I was staying in Northern Ireland all the way till I got home. I'd listened to all 5 episodes.
That's where we get our listens from.
It took so long to get home. Oh my
Jesus.
God! But anyway, really good.
Anyway, why not Red Dead? The first one or second one?
Start with the second one, I think.
Because it was a prequel, wasn't it?
Yeah. Do it linear. But
really, you did that first?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would, because I like the story in Red Dead Redemption 2. And if you did it over a few series, there's some, you start off with Arthur Morgan as the main, because then I want to get that punch that you get in it.
Yeah.
When you realise he's, spoiler alert, when you realise he's got
TB, isn't it?
TB, yeah, and which is incurable back then. And he's going to die, and then he's sort of making that redemption, isn't he? Yeah. To try and that, because if you started, even people who didn't know Red Dead Redemption, and just watching a good Western TV series, if you had John Marston in the first one, and then you went back and did a prequel thing, they'd be like, "Well, where's
we kind of know where this is going to go."
He's mopping up, you know that Dutch is dead, things like that. I want to take people on that journey so they see the outlaws at the beginning.
Good idea.
And kind of you've got that sort of gang family almost, and I want to see that break apart. I think that would be really good over episodes.
Yeah.
So you get to care for the characters. You get the little side bits where certain characters go off to do certain things together, build up that relationship with them like you do in the game.
Yeah.
And then you lose them in certain episodes, because I like the way they did that. They kill off sort of maiden characters and things like that in like St. Louis and things like that. And then obviously you've got the big one with Arthur Morgan. And then you could have you could go on to do the original Red Dead.
Yeah.
Because that needs to be done as well.
Of course, yeah.
But then the first one,
you haven't played the first one?
No, I don't think it ever came on PC, did it?
John.
The second one.
I bought it for him as well.
The first one was so good, but then you know who you're mopping up. So you've kind of got that emotional thing of like, he's hunting, he takes out Bill Williamson first, who was kind of good at time. He was part of the family at times.
Yep.
Saved John Marston, things like that. Had his bad, they were all outlaws, weren't they? Things like that. And then go towards that punch at the end that we all know from the original Red Dead.
Yeah.
Because that'd be a good ending, wouldn't it? Finish the series, however many series it takes you to get there without rushing, and then end it like that.
But number 2 is a fucking huge game. How many seasons would you get out of that? Just alone?
I think it's a huge game, but I think you could, if you just followed the main sort of plot points, you wouldn't need to make it too bloated.
No. Would you put the Deadeye into the series? Because what's the difference to go, this is just an ordinary, cowboy Indian TV show, just because it's got Red Dead slapped on it?
I mean, if you found a good way to do it, and again, it's the same that John was saying, I wouldn't overuse that sort of thing.
No.
But what I think, people didn't just play it and say, oh, it's just a Western, That's not a massive genre for games, is it, really?
No, there's more to it than that.
It's the way the characters were really fleshed out and the story that you go on. That was... I remember, I think it was G, but I remember when it came out and I was playing it, and because I knew when they were like, he's coughing up blood, for the time period, that's probably tuberculosis. And I was like, there's no cure. I knew back then.
It was at this moment that he knew he bugged up.
He's only going to go that. But I think I remember G playing that. And if it wasn't G, it was definitely someone at work was playing it. And they were like, yeah, but you can cure, I'm sure they're going to cure him.
Yeah, and I was thinking, they're not the brightest of the bunch, really. These guys,
that's harsh. But but no, I remember thinking like, "Oh, you sweet summer child."
Yes, you've got a shock coming.
It's not going to happen.
You sweet innocent boy.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. And like I say, I like that. It's going down the good Game of Thrones. What made Game of Thrones good in that, you built up these characters and they're not always on the same page. They're clashing. There's the internal clashes with like Micah and things like that, wasn't there? And then it fractures. And I think it'd be so heartrending to have that fracture.
Yeah.
Of the characters that you've got to care through because you're doing it as a TV series rather than a 2-hour, 3-hour movie.
Yeah. I mean, John picked it as a movie, but it's too massive, too big. You'd have to have a trilogy at least or something out there, wouldn't you? But if it was successful, like your Red Dead series, would you do the Undead spin-off at all?
It would be fun to do the Undead.
Come on, it would be good, right? That was one of the best DLCs ever, that was.
Yeah. And you get like the horses of the apocalypse. So you got like a pestilence one, didn't you?
Right.
And like
you can actually hunt Bigfoot in that one. That's the only.
Because he's like, oh, don't kill me.
That's right. Yeah, that's the only game we actually get to hunt him. Yeah. Like he pops up in the games, but you don't really get to see him. You actually got to see him in the Undead one.
But like I say, there's so many good things about the Red Dead story. And even if you needed to fill little sections where nothing's happening, sort of thing, you've got the gang that are skinning people in Tall Pines or wherever it was, scalping them and things like that.
There's so many little side missions anyway that you could easily put a couple of them into it.
Would you do some of the nods to like the epic animals, like the white horse and stuff like that?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Little nods.
I think nods, yeah.
Yeah.
I would put nods in there.
Would you capture a lady and put her on a railway track?
I think you'd have to just for the gamers.
Because that's what I'm saying. You need to keep doing something to remind gamers this is Red Dead.
Yeah.
That's the issue, isn't it?
But I think, you're talking about games that would make good TV. I think they made a very good story at the heart.
Yeah, I mean,
a Western story that would translate good. It doesn't need to be referred to, I think it could stand on its own without being...
I mean, yeah, because there aren't that many. Like I said, it's not exactly people's attraction to watch a Western. I mean, the only one I remember watching was Deadwood. And then obviously we had Westworld, but that's the sci-fi element to it, didn't it? But yeah, to have like something like Red Dead would be really good.
You've got is it Yellowstone?
And again, you would 100% attract gamers into the genre that they love playing at the end of the day. So it's worth a go at the end of the day. I can see it being, like you say, you do it well enough and you stick to some of the story of the game, then it'll work just as well.
And it would come round. So you have that fracture of the whole gang, the Vanderling gang, and then you'd have John. Maybe in a later series, having his redemption, trying to escape from his past.
Everyone will be sitting there waiting for him to cough. He's got to do it. He's got to, no!
Yeah.
But
that's Arthur.
It's Arthur, isn't it? Sorry, Arthur Morton. Yeah. I get me mixed up. But John Marston's in number 2, isn't he? He pops up every now and then.
No, he's part of the gang. But he's like the young
right, okay. So I've only played up to a certain point, so I don't know.
Oh, spoilers.
I know the ins out of the game, so it doesn't matter.
And then Arthur, when he's sort of realising he's been a bad man kind of thing and he's dying.
Bad man.
He's instrumental in trying to help John Marston and his wife and son Jack, who's like a little kid in the original, escape that life. So it's kind of his personal redemption.
Be interesting to see what they do in number 3 if they ever did number 3.
Yeah, I don't know where they'd go with that. It'd have to be new characters, wouldn't it?
Completely new characters. After what happened in the first one.
Well, unless you had fucking Jack.
Oh, true,
which nobody would like, I don't think.
Yeah, it's true. I know, it's a good pick. It's weird how you picked that as a movie and, they picked it as a TV series, just like Dead Space.
This is what I was said to you. I mean,
they're great games. They'd be good as a movie or TV series.
I could have easily done my top 5 again as TV shows.
Yeah.
But I thought... Well, no, I'll pick 5 different games. So,
and I haven't yet listened.
Listen to the episodes.
I will. Yeah.
It came out today as well. Anything else on that, sir?
No.
All right. Okay. My number 2 is something I'm literally begging Disney to make because I am sick and tired of the saga that they keep repeating now. And I would like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic to be made as a TV series.
Oh, okay.
Let's face it, the Skywalker saga is done, finished. Stop rinsing the fuck out of it. Let's go into the actual history of Star Wars and let's go back thousands and thousands of years before Skywalker ever existed. It would be so good. It is generally a massive story and it could be a massive live-action TV series. I don't want to go too much into it because me and Big G talk about this game so much on this fucking podcast. But let's just do something different, Disney. Let's go and start from scratch. Let's throw all the twists and turns that are in the game into this TV series as well. We can go into like the laws of certain species or creatures or characters or cultures that are in Star Wars, especially the Jedi themselves and whatnot. It would be so worth it. So much bang for their buck. And I reckon it would make a great TV. I mean, let's stop talking about Andor and the Rebel Alliance and shit. Let's fuck all that. Let's go straight to the meat and bone of Star Wars and go for the Knights of the Old Republic.
I mean, it's probably the most likely to happen out of our list, isn't it?
I hope so. I really hope so because I'm so bored. I mean, this is coming from a Star Wars fan. I am bored of what they keep putting on, Disney Plus now with all these. Apart from Mandalorian, obviously, but I don't care about Andor. I don't care about Obi-Wan. It's like we know the fucking outcome. That's the issue with prequels. If you do something thousands years beforehand, you ain't got a clue what's going on or what's going to happen, do you? Unless you obviously fan the video games, and you will know. But again, I can't go too much more into this because there's lots of plots and twists and turns that would be good for people that aren't familiar with the games.
That's an old game now, though, isn't it?
Yeah. And, well, the thing is, PlayStation 5 was going to remake it.
It was, yeah.
And now they've put it dead in the water now, apparently, which is a nuisance. It was practically the reason why I bought a PS5.
Hasn't there been rumours that was getting remade for many years?
Yeah, exactly,
It never materialised.
But then it was done by the guys in Mass Effect, and then they're doing new Mass Effect now. So.
Yeah, another Mass Effect.
But Mass Effect would be good as a TV series anyway.
That was on my honourable mention.
Was it really?
Yeah.
But yeah, again, Star Wars, I love it. Knights of the Republic, Disney, let's do something different. That's my number 2. John, what's your number 2?
But it's still a Star Wars.
It's still Star Wars.
Not that different.
Is it? It's a lot different. Much better. So much fucking better. Number 2, John.
My number 2 is a game I haven't got around to finishing yet, but I really do.
Excellent. Number 1.
Yeah. No, it's called Generation Zero. I think we've mentioned this before, funny enough. I think
I've heard of this. This is the one where you shoot down robots and stuff.
There's robots in it, yeah.
Yes, I know this game.
I think
someone mentioned this to me at work about this and said I should give it a go. It's on the Game Pass.
Yeah, I think G mentioned it on one of our games.
No, I think it's about 2 years old.
Yeah, it's only a couple of years old.
Yeah. Oh, I've not heard of that.
Yeah, it's very...
Basically, you're a teenager in Sweden. And you're out in your boat and you come back and the country's been overrun by these robots. And they like anything from these small little spotty drone ones up to these great big hulking like Mech Warrior, like the ones in Mech Warrior, quite big ones. And you're trying to figure out where have all the people gone. And you have to loot for guns and bandages and all sorts of things. And you find like books and bits of paper, and you're basically putting this story together as you go along. There's bunkers to find, so the military are involved, but it's like, where are they? So you're trying to figure out what's happened. And I just think that could be quite an interesting TV show.
Like Fallout.
Yes and no. With the robots especially would be something different, to what is on the kind of the TV at the moment. I love playing it. It's quite a good game. Like I say, I know
of it. I haven't played it, but I know of it.
Yeah.
Why haven't you finished it then?
Because
John doesn't finish games.
I do, but there are other games. I like to play lots of different games, and I don't like to finish one and then move on to the next one. I like to play bits of them all, bit by bit.
What?
Yeah,
doesn't make sense, does it?
No,
you did finish a game. That was Horizon, wasn't it?
Yes, actually, no, you're right. I did finish that. I do finish
only game you did finish.
No, I do finish other games.
I nearly fucking passed out.
I do finish games, just not all of them.
A lot of them.
Generation Zero,
I just think it'd be quite an interesting because it's set in the 80s as well. It's got quite music and it's quite good as well. And then looking at things like Dark and stuff that like that was been on, and I just think quite an interesting sort of like take on something like that, and looking at it from a young person's point of view rather than a group of adults, shall we say?
Bit Stranger Things, 80s, young kids leaving.
Yeah, but the robots in it are quite, the AI and the robots
fucking
is quite
massive things.
Yeah,
aren't they?
some of them are quite big. Yeah, so it's, it's a lot of like not puzzles, but you've got to kind of like work your way past them, and you have to work out what how to kill certain ones, and every now and again you do come across like graffiti on a wall or something like what was in Dead Space, and it'll tell you to hit this point or that point, and then once you see that, and obviously if you get attacked by one, you know how to take them out. Yeah, it's kind of I just think it'd be quite an interesting take. Really. When I was putting the list together, I kind of thought, well, I didn't want to, like I said, I didn't want to do the same 5 that I'd already done. I wanted to pick something different. So I went back through my little category that I've got on Steam, and I thought, it's a game I've played literally a couple of weeks ago as well. I pick it up every now and again, and I play a bit more. And I thought, actually, I kind of like that. Actually, I like the robots in it are something. They're quite wicked in it, actually.
Okay.
I just thought,
I'm just interested in how John consumes his games media. Little bit by little bit. Yeah. Go away, come back to it.
But never finishes it.
Never finishes it.
Well, it all depends.
But he gets his money worth out of these games.
Fuck yeah.
It's like, I've not quite hit that £40 mark yet. I've done 40 hours.
Is it a pound an hour then?
No.
Anything else on that, sir?
No, like I said, I haven't finished it. So.
Because John doesn't finish games. Number 1.
Go on.
It's number 1.
David.
My number 1 is a game I fucking love.
Yes.
Because
I fucking love it when people love games.
because of its style, the way it's done, the stylistic to it, and it's also just fun and mystery. And you're getting a lot of mystery vibes from me. And it is Control.
Oh!
I've not played it.
Gurkle picked that as a movie.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I've been really torpedoed by that, not listening to that fucking episode.
That is a damn good game, though. I love that game.
I've got it, not played it. So.
Yeah, I've played it, though. That is an awesome game. That's the one with the woman in the building, yeah?
Yeah. What's it called? The Bureau.
That's it.
It's so the concept is there's this big organisation called the Bureau that has like deals with altered world events, AWEs and things like that. So it's like things that are just, objects that are wrong and that have abilities that don't belong in our sort of world. So they're always, and what I like about it is they're always like mundane objects. So it'll be like a traffic light, or it'll be like a little rubber duck, or a little carriage. That's right,
clock. And it's confined in one room, isn't it?
So it's and the organisation basically goes out and does, controls areas where these things happen in the real world. So, I'd like it. You could do it like X-Files. So you could go. Each episode is almost like a somebody working for this, the Bureau dealing with something like that. But I just like the way that the Bureau is kind of like in the world, but nobody knows about it kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's a bit Men in Black in that respect. And if you look at it visually, I just really like the style of it.
Yeah.
So
some of the puzzles in that are mind fucks as well. Absolute mind fucks.
I got really fucked over by the traffic lights because I'm not being American.
Yeah.
I didn't know, and having Squid Games not be out, wasn't out when I played it. I was like, what's red light, green light? That doesn't make, we knew it as grandmother's footsteps.
That's right, yes, yeah.
You'd have to sneak up behind grandmother and she'd turn around, and we didn't do red light, green light like you see in Squid Games. So that fucked me over for ages. I'm like, why am I fucking dying? Nothing's killing me. But I just
What's that one when you go in that house and it keeps building itself as you go in? It's like a puzzle. And
that's the maze, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like that really aggravated me.
But you couldn't do it until you hit a certain point. But the story of Jesse Faden going through and becoming like the head of the Bureau and getting control of things.
She after her brother in that at some point.
Well, her brother, she's always been looking for her brother, but she ends up being drawn in, and it's the mystery of it. I love them. And I love how empty it is. It sounds weird, but like you've got these, it's so blocky and, almost monastic at times and things like that. And, when you've got the hiss that have invaded the house where the Bureau is, because the house itself is like a creature almost. And
it's all confined into one building, isn't it? But you go on different levels.
Yeah. And then you've got the extra planar sort of being, which is that black pyramid that talks to her.
Yes, yeah.
And I just like the sound design on it. I like the fact that when you're walking through these massive spaces that have been altered with these, blocks, and you've got like the old human workers hanging in the sky, and they're just they're talking nonsense. It's like a background drone. I think if you did it really stylistically,
it's quite creepy in a way as well, isn't it?
Yeah. And they, you look at the colour and the way they've designed it. The people over there did a really good...
Yeah, Remedy, isn't it?
Remedy, did a really good job of designing that game. Because you've got a lot of use of the red is, you automatically know when things are going red. That's the hiss.
Yeah, because a lot of it's very grey and very
I quite
dull
like
looking,
that contrast. And like at one point you go into the communications area with all the pneumatic tubes that you fire the messages through.
That's right.
And it looks like a cathedral, the columns of a cathedral going up into the roof and things like that. But then you've got the bizarre element of it that I quite like. So there's that whole wing that was taken over by clocks that just kept replicating.
Yes, yeah.
Hundreds and thousands of them just continued. So they just had to block it off. They had to block that. So I'd like to explore that world.
Yeah.
In a TV series. But I also like, the...
Yeah, it's a lot to take in on the game, isn't it? And then there are files and stuff you can read and stuff.
I read everything.
Did you really?
I like the lore on it, so I read about all the different altered world events, and because you've got like a whole department.
Would you explain that in the TV series, or would you just make people like fuck with them and let them do it for themselves, sort of thing?
I'd like to explain and delve into it a little bit more.
Yeah,
like you were talking and we talked about a bit earlier on lore stuff. Because I like that they set like little things. There were so. It feels like a world that's already fleshed out in the game, because they'd created like the Bureau had created like a late night radio show, conspiracy theories. So they basically, people who'd had encounters with like, oh, my phone keeps doing this weird thing, and it's talking to me, which other people, normal people, would think is, you know, them going mad.
Yeah.
And it's actually potentially an altered world item. They were ringing up. They were ringing up the radio host. Conspiracy theory. He's then going, right, we need to dispatch a team out to go and control that, sterilise the area, very Men in Black style. So yeah, no, I just really like it.
So would you give Jessie all her abilities, all the guns she has in the show as well? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but in line with the development of the story, and the, you know, as you start
not just for the sake of action.
No, as you start to piece together what's going on. I do like a good mystery. I like to not know what's happening on a TV series and have it piece by piece explained to me, kind of thing. But like I say, I just
keeps you watching, isn't it?
It's just such a bizarre. I like, you know, and when she walks up to it, you sort of get the hint in the game that she's walking in a city. But then you look up and it's this massive, just cyclopean blank face, isn't it? Going up into the sky kind of thing. And I like when you don't know, you never really find out what the pyramid is. You never really find out who the janitor is.
Yes, I was about to bring that up.
Bizarre janitor, things like that.
The Russian janitor, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a Russian accent
He's
sort of thing.
talking or weird. Yeah.
Let's see, yeah.
And I like that mystery.
Yeah, I was super pumped when they announced number 2's on the way as
me
well.
too.
I was like, fuck it, yes.
I'm so glad for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, I just love that game.
Yeah.
Oh, I shall have to try playing it.
You should get it. If you get it on Steam quite cheap, you should do it.
I've got it. Just never.
Like I said,
and when you get,
I believe it was on Gokul's like number 5. I think it was.
When you get your powers and you get the hang of the game and how the movement works and things like that, you feel like a superhero god. You know, hovering in the air, darting sideways, flinging rubbish at people.
And that's what I'm saying, because apart from when you reload your guns, you're not limited to like, you can only fight for so long or anything. Like in certain games,
well, you do sort of descend when you hover.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but it's like you're still not limited to it. You can just drop down and go back up again, can't you?
You flip. Well, the way I played it, and it's probably designed to be played, is you flip between tactics so fluidly. You know, you'll go from
so once you reload, you start.
Yeah, whilst you're reloading, you hop into the air, dart sideways, grab some chunk out of the wall, which is really satisfying, and you know, hit someone with a chair. Dong. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, it's really such a good game. Yeah, very, very underrated.
Yeah, it was one of those games. The trailer got me. I thought, right, I've got to get this. And then when it had, I think Steam had a sale, and I bought it in the sale. So,
but we'll never finish it.
I have got it. But well.
If you ever, I know you don't have an Xbox and whatnot, but if you ever get a chance, play Quantum Break. It's done by the same guys. You should get. Wake, you would love that. Alan Wake's okay. I'm not really a big fan of Alan Wake, but Quantum Break was fucking underrated.
I was discussing this with my brother because he's a big gamer. My brother.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this list. And he was like, said exactly the same. Said, play Quantum Break.
Alan Wake's okay. I think it's one of those games I need to replay again. But then the sequel's coming out too, isn't
Control, aren't they? Both of them.
Yeah, because it's the same people, isn't it?
Yeah. So and you have that whole area where they've mocked out that event, haven't they? The town where it all happened.
Where it all happened, yeah. So yeah, all nice little connection. Nicely all connected to it.
And you'd got in the TV series, you'd have to have an episode devoted to the Panopticon, which is like a prison for all of these. Would you put the? It's going to come out weird saying this on the mic, but the one-eyed monster creature thing that you go into. Yeah, because it's that other. It's never explained, is it?
No.
But then
it's like you touch the object and then you go into it and have to destroy it, isn't it? Yeah.
But what is it? You don't know.
Yeah.
But then
one-eyed monster.
You know, you've got that. But then you've got the fridge that guy's got to keep looking at.
Yes, he can't stay away from it. Blink. Yeah.
And I'd like the mundane mixed with the absolute bizarre.
It's very spare parts, that, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, nice little plug there.
Nice little plug there, isn't it? I still need you to sign my thing, by the way.
I know. Now that I can use my hands again after my accident, I'll scribble something for you.
That's it. Just
I'll lick it.
Use it with your mouth like in the Simpsons episode. Yeah. Thanks for buying.
I'll do that.
That's good. Control. Gokul, I love that you picked that. Provided he listens to this episode.
Yeah. I will listen to the.
Be interested to see what he says. What he thinks of it. See if you. Can't think of the fucking words. If you agree with what he says, sort of thing.
What, Gokul?
Yeah.
We might have to butt heads.
That's it.
I'll get Gokul's fans after me though if I clash too much with him.
You're never going to let that go, are you?
No.
Google's got fans.
It's the fact that I was standing right next to him and the guy didn't even notice. I was on the
I'm on the show
podcast.
too.
I didn't say
Yes,
that.
Stuart,
Jesus.
if you're listening.
Imagine how embarrassing that would have
Fucking
been.
asshole. Anything else on Control, sir?
No, I think I've covered
No. Right, we'll go to my number one. Very short but sweet because it's a game I played recently and thought, do you know what, this would be a really good TV show. And the only issue is there's kind of a TV show that's already out that's kind of like it. So I'll just go and tell it out straight away. My number one is Shadows of Mordor.
Oh, interesting.
Which tells the story of Celebrimbor and Tallinn, the Ranger. Talion, beg your pardon. And I just think that this as a show would be canon to Peter Jackson's films as well, because it does actually follow that and is all the same design of it. If anyone doesn't know the story, Celebrimbor is essentially the elf that created the One Ring for Sauron. It was essentially his at first, but then Sauron defeated him in battle and took it from him. Killed Celebrimbor, his wife, his children, whatnot. So he's essentially like the living ghost left of him, a vengeful ghost, shall we say?
Vengeful ghost.
And then Talion's obviously a ranger that was
on the Black Gate.
That's it. And then he to Mordor, got captured, had his throat slit, and his wife and children were killed as well. Yeah. So he's on the near brink of death, but Celebrimbor inhabits his body, doesn't he?
Keeps him alive. Yeah.
Keeps him alive, essentially. So if Celebrimbor ever leaves his body, he would tell him would die, but he would pretty much die. But so they kind of need each other, if you will. Yeah. So and this is all about a revenge story, get back at Sauron. Isn't it? So Celebrimbor can defeat him and take his ring back.
You can go in and out of realms, the different realms.
Yes,
yeah.
But I think I mean, everyone loves Aragorn. Aragorn's like the ranger. I don't care. When Celebrimbor inhabits Talion's body, he's got nothing on Aragorn. He's the best ranger ever. Yeah. The amount of the style of fighting and some of the abilities he can do with Celebrimbor inhabiting his body and stuff. He's fucking awesome. I love the whole branding aspect. He can mind control other orcs and stuff as well. Follow him in these legion and stuff like that. It would be just a great little, maybe 2-season story of the whole, whole arc of the revenge.
He's able to work out who's who they serve, and he can get through them.
Every episode can be like a little nod as to what abilities he can do with Celebrimbor what else can he do? He can speed run, he can jump high, stuff like that, can't he?
You can use the bow.
The bow, the bow is so fucking good.
Does that slam move where he uses the spear and
that's
blasts
it.
about?
And what's the other one where he can? I can't remember now. But he can do all sorts of things. It's just, the game is essentially like Arkham, Batman Arkham, isn't it?
But with But you've got the Nemesis system where you can build.
That was in the second one, wasn't it? Yeah,
it's in the first one as well.
But it's more built in the second one, though, wasn't it? Because you have your own fortress as well in that one.
Yeah, but you still controlled orcs. That
yes, You had to do it for the storyline. But so every episode can build up on his abilities, and then towards the end, he can go against Sauron. I don't want to give too much away because obviously we all know it's an outcome. It's a prequel anyway. And if it gets big, then they can go to Shadows of War.
Does quite... At the end of Shadows of War, does the whole power corrupt, the ring corrupts, doesn't it?
Exactly, yes. So... I just sat and played it recently on my Steam Deck, and I just thought, you know what, we could tie this in with Rings of Power, or we can tie this in with because Celebrimbor is actually in Rings of Power, isn't he? And I was so fucking shocked when he was in that. I was like, no way, that's freaking awesome. Yeah. But obviously, this is when he's died after and whatnot.
So was it 1,000 years or a couple?
But there was I had played it years ago, Shadows of Water, sorry. And again, like I said, replayed it, but I replayed it with the DLC, and it's actually an interesting DLC where Celebrimbor is trying to raise his own army to go against Sauron, but can't do it as he's living, as his normal body. He has to go into a living body, sort of thing. At the very end of that DLC, he finds Tally and says, "Oh, we've got some great adventures to do together." And it's like, "Wow, that would be good as a nice little pilot kick-off," and then go into the series. I don't know why I'm a bit like Lord of the Rings fans. I mean, I liked Rings of Power. I think at the time I picked this game because I wanted more Rings of Power, and I thought this would be great as another series that Amazon can do as a spin-off. And like I said, tie in with the movies. It's pretty much why it's my number one. I just think it'd be great as...
I love those games.
Yeah.
I love tormenting.
Very underrated.
I love
underrated,
tormenting until they go mad or something and then come back.
But do you like? I love it when you kill them, for example,
And they come back.
and they're like, "Oh, you took my eye out last time. You're not going to get away with it this time."
I love the way they're all British accents.
They've always got British accents. They never have anything else.
They come back as you killed them last time when they suddenly appear. So like you got one with the Mordor flies you used to
it's like fear of the flies or whatever.
And then he comes back and he's got them nesting in his flesh kind of thing.
Yeah, so good. Yeah. Oh mate. Yeah, that's the reason why I had to pick it. I mean, I think I just want my extra Lord of the Rings fix.
You killed me. You won't get away with it this time.
Some good orcs and
it's so good.
You could explore the orcs a lot in that, which is why I would like to see that on TV, because you could do
the designs on all these war chiefs and stuff are so good.
Well,
not one of them is the same, really, is it? No, it's just.
No.
But you talking about the Genesis system. Nemesis system, sorry. What a great mechanic that is. That, again, I don't think it's been used in video games since,
really,
is it?
Trademarked it.
Did they?
If I'm remembering correctly, I think they trademarked it so nobody else could use the exact...
that's probably why then.
Yeah, because that needed to be used more.
Yes.
So the Nemesis system, you've got like a war council, haven't you? With like a chief at the top, his lieutenants, then like little sergeants or whatever underneath. And now you can kill them. You can
command them to betray other ones.
Yeah, so you can brand them and bring them onto your side, and then use them to kill other people, and however many ways you want to play it, really.
Yeah, exactly.
And they come back. They depending on how you treat them, things. Sometimes your own ones can betray you in like crucial moments. Yeah,
it's just such a clever system. It's like the AI on Alien Isolation. Again, it's never used again, and it should be used. But yeah, that's my number one. Short, straight, Shadows of Mordor. Oh, we did it, guys. Not one clash at all. I'm very impressed
still
with
gets number one.
Oh, no, sorry, you still got to... Sorry, John. Go on, John. Sorry, mate. I always think I'm last, that's why. John, what's your number one, sir?
Candy Crush.
The TV series.
I would like to see the TV series of System Shock.
Ah... You're going to have to tell me
the PC Classic.
PC Classic. Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Well, the second one
Explain, John.
The second one was the more popular one.
Explain to those noobs out there. This was Dead Space before there was Dead Space.
Was it? Yeah. This is an old.
But you go against an AI on the ship, sort of thing.
You're a hacker, and you get caught trying to break into this facility, and you get offered a way out in a sense, because I think the penalty was death, and you get off. Basically, there's this guy who's in charge, and his people catch you.
Did you complete it, John?
Yes.
Oh.
That's why it's number one.
Hold me, Ant.
And basically, he's tasked with hacking into this AI in this system in a space station called Shodan. What was unusual about the game was there was no NPCs in it, so it was you against Shodan, basically. And you had all these, you had to open certain doors and things. You had to hack puzzles. You had to work your way through. And all the time you have this voice of Shodan speaking to you, telling you, it still puts the hairs on the back of my head up listening to her. The second game was a little bit better, I thought. Shodan, they put a bit more AI into her. And they're redoing the whole lot again now as a new... It's going to be like a remastered version, I believe. They're not telling the story in a different way.
It's meant to be the third one, isn't it?
I don't know. My belief is
I always thought it was System Shock 3 they were doing, not a remake.
No, I think it's a redo.
I might have to change on that. I think it's number 3.
Yeah.
But why would it be a good TV series?
Well, and how would you do it?
Well, that's the thing. It's the AI. It's the hacker himself. Because he doesn't have a name, as far as I'm aware.
Let's call him Artyom.
No, let's call him John.
He's
this hacker called John.
Yeah, but like I say, he's a very good hacker, and Shodan is this ultra AI, and the guy who's in charge of people that caught him, he basically wants to control Shodan, and he wants to use her. But yeah, I haven't played it for a while, trying to remember how it will finish. But the new game of it should be
finished
quite.
it.
I have finished it.
Yeah,
it's an old game, dude. It's like early 90s.
Yeah, I was
going to
say, was it 93 or 4 or something like really early 90s anyway. And that's how long ago since I played it. So because I played it when it came out, I played the second one it came out, and then.
So would you do it as a 1-season thing, and if it got popular, System Shock 2, Season 2?
I think you could do it as a 2-season thing. I think the first game...
It's also first person. Would you do it first person?
I don't think you could.
Choice.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Something different?
Yeah, it would. If it could be done, yes. Would it enhance... it probably, like you say, it'd be something different.
You've got the whole idea... down to a T. It would create an audience, but I don't see it going past one season personally.
I don't know. So, you got
unless you do a really crafty cliffhanger with her.
You probably could do. But you have to craft weapons and things to get through, and you have to craft all like the electronic side of it. You have to.
But there's like other things. There's monsters and stuff in there, isn't there?
Yeah, because
she creates them, doesn't she?
Yeah. It's not just. I mean,
it's not just simply go around hacking, trying to get hold of her and get through puzzles.
That's basically the part of the story. But she controls these other beasts and things, and she sends them after him. So she's obviously trying to work out where he is, and he's trying to hide where he is. And I think it would be quite interesting. It's a game I'd like to see put in, but whether it'll ever get done, of course.
Would it be a better movie?
It probably work better as a movie personally, but.
Would. Probably, actually. Yeah, actually, it might work better as a movie. But I don't know. Like I say, I think 1 or 2 seasons of it.
Or do the first one, first game as a series, and then the second one as a movie.
Ooh, that'll be interesting, yeah.
We keep throwing all these good ideas at these TV companies.
We need someone.
Stop it!
We need someone that's not John to sell it though, because craft things.
His name's John, and he's a hacker. He's a good hacker.
You need to come out with your game plan.
I need to play these games a bit more often.
But no, it's still a good choice. Yeah. It's a game I'd love to go back. I look forward to the remake, or should I say number 3?
Well, that's what I'm waiting for. Yeah.
But whether it comes out or not is another thing, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Any honourable mentions at all to anyone?
Yes.
Go for it.
Go for it.
I've already put 2 of mine in already on the show. So.
Well, I said Elden Ring, Skyrim, or any Elder.
Yes,
Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, I'm never the big Skyrim fan, so I never put it on my list. So yeah.
Ghosts of Tsushima.
I've not played it. Again, it's a PlayStation game.
But you got a PlayStation now.
I know, but I just
Ghosts of Tsushima.
I haven't got time for that shit.
It's so good if you like your sort of samurai, going to ninja story. Honor and breaking.
Is it a series though, or?
That's why it's not on. It's an honourable mention.
Didn't make the list. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. God of War. I'll put that down.
Yeah.
You could do different series depending on where you are at in God of War. Mm-hmm. How many of the Greek gods you've sort of smashed to bits.
Yeah, that's it. But then would you go into what they do now with the whole Norse mythology to carry it on? Yeah.
Okay. Horizon Zero Dawn.
I was going to mention that. Yeah.
I enjoyed that one. Yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Every PlayStation game known to man.
Well, I've always played.
You've always been a PlayStation guy. Yeah, go on.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Yes.
And you're going to another PlayStation one, Killzone.
Ooh.
Futuristic space.
So that's essentially PlayStation's Wolfenstein, really, isn't it? Yeah.
I know of that game. Yeah.
What were they called?
Helgens.
That's it.
I can't remember which
Killzone
it was, but there was a really bad aspect where you invaded on these like stupid open top skiff things coming down to do a beach landing.
I think that's number 2. I think it was on PlayStation 2. Yeah,
coming down to do a beach landing and all the red glowing-eyed space Nazis, because the Helgens were all like, white-haired, bald, weren't they? Red eye.
Yeah, very Nazi-looking things, aren't they? Yeah,
like futuristic space Nazis.
Do you know what I would like? Oh no, I should put it as a movie. Or the TV series. Resistance, do you remember that at all?
Fall of Man.
Yeah.
Me and my brother talked about that and I forgot to put it on.
Yeah. That would be... I don't know if it would work as a series, though. It might be better as a movie.
It would be better as a movie. We couldn't remember what the enemies were called in that.
No, I can't remember either. So you had to shoot the yellow bits on them, the yellow lights that would stick on their back or something. Do
you know, weird little side story? I remember when that game came out. Was it PlayStation 3?
It's an exclusive of them.
And me and my brother... I was quite young at that time, and we've been playing PlayStation 2, with like bodies that fell flat through a staircase. So you just had the legs poking out, and like you shot a window, and there was like a bullet hole PNG on the window. I remember playing Resistance Fall of Man when we first got our PS3, me and my brother, and we were like, you shoot the window and the glass breaks into sections. This is graphical amusement.
This is like the next fucking step in... This is revolutionary.
Human evolution. You shoot the glass and the glass breaks.
Yeah. Resistance should have got on my movie one. That was a good one. I do love that game. I wasn't a fan of number 3, though. I don't think 3 was that good. But number 1 and 2 were great games. What about you, John? Any honourable mentions?
Well, not really, no. Homefront was quite a good game. I enjoyed playing that.
Is that the one named Korea invades America and stuff? Yeah.
You had to hide in a pool of bodies, didn't you?
Yeah, something like that.
Call of Duty you could do? That would be a good movie, though, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
But then how do you do...
I was thinking that, but then I thought it would make a better film than TV series. So
yeah.
That's why I didn't.
What about you on?
No, I mentioned already a couple like Death Stranding and one that John picked was Days Gone. Mass Effect we mentioned as well. I think Big Guy put that as a movie, didn't he?
I had Mass Effect as a movie. Yeah.
No, I can't think of anything else. Ready to top of my head.
There'll be loads.
I struggled to do my top 5, let alone fucking.
There'll be loads that you think of, or someone will say.
I'm sure someone will be like Borderlands or something, and just be like,
but they become.
Comment below, let us know, guys. We're not specialists.
But isn't Borderlands being put into a TV series?
It's made into a movie. At the moment. It's going to be made into a movie.
That was why I didn't put it on the list. I thought it was a TV show. I was movie then. Oh shit! I could have put that on my top 5.
Too late now. Come. But yes, obviously, guys, if you've got anything that you can think of and mention, please comment below. Let us know. We'd like to hear your top 5s as well on our Facebook page or Instagram, and just let us know there. We can
tell John why
we can both go, oh yeah, of course, and tell John what System Shock is as well. Yeah. He's a hacker and he hacks. I love you, John. You're the best guy. You could sell a movie script to anyone, dude.
You reckon?
Too fucking right. He could.
What? No way.
He's the best salesman ever.
No way.
But at least you fucking showed up, so I appreciate that. Unlike some other cunt who's like, but he's got bad diarrhea at the moment.
I've got a bad body.
When I listen back, is this how you slag me off after my Dave's not here, he's not doing Halloween?
I had to cut some of that stuff out.
You bastard.
Oh, mate. But we'll leave it there, guys. And we'll obviously say, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed what you listened to, follow us on Facebook at the M.T.V.B Podcast, on Instagram at M.T.V.B Podcast, at M.T.V.B Podcast, I need to listen there. TikTok at M.T.V.B Podcast 197, and obviously on Twitter at M.T.V.B Podcast 1. In the meantime, I'm Ant, followed by
JK47.
And Dave. Welcome back, Dave. Thank you for coming on, mate. Box Standard Dave. We missed you, Dave.
Yeah.
Hey! And we'll see you all again very soon, guys. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.